We are live. I see you back there. I'm going to start some music.
Wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? You. Temperatures going up, the heat is rising, scholars are showing up, audience vibing. We on a mission, competition is the only desire. Whose information will be facing the unmerciful fire? So what's up, stand up, can you walk through hell? So tough, too tough for the weak soft shell. Set the fire, fan the flame, smoke is rising in plumes, while the inexperienced debater starts to choke on the fumes. Bring your science, bring your wisdom, even bring us your religion. If you cannot stand the heat, then please don't come in the Paul's kitchen. It's a session, learn a lesson, fight and overcome your fear. Who will beat the best debates? By the time all the smoke clears, who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Session, smoke, smoke, smoke session. Smoke, smoke, smoke session. Smoke, smoke, smoke session. I want the smoke.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? You. Temperatures going up, the heat is rising, scholars are showing.
Temperatures going up. The heat is rising. Scholars are showing up. Audience vibing. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Namaste. Jumbo. Ashe Shalom. What do you say as a Rasta? How do you say peace? What would you say?
Ayla, blessed love. You know what I
Blessed
mean?
love. Yes. All right. We got Xion Warren in the house, aka the head smusher. I don't know if he's still he might
I'm
be
your
trying to.
smusher man.
Okay, listen, everybody. I know you're just getting in the building. I usually let it run for a minute, but if you're on the HOK, peace, Cedric. Look at we already got you some people.
I know my arch nemesis.
Cedric said,
So
"What the hell?
Cedric, look at my shirt.
I can't see your shirt. Oh, what is that?
Bring it up. It's
That's
scar,
scar.
but look at what it says.
Let me get you on the big one. Why you got scar? You say Cedric is scar or what?
No, look at what it says up
I'm
top.
surrounded by idiots.
Not you, the palm.
Wow. No, I got you. Listen, all right. They already told. I have I'm trigger happy with the sound effects and stuff.
I love it, yo. Look, I like to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay,
throw funny images. I like to throw funny images in my slides. You know what I'm saying? Between my scholastic sources, I might throw something hilarious in there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. The comedy and the scholarship. Yeah, that's how we do
Right,
it.
just roll with it. If a clip goes and you might get muted.
I love it. I love it.
Right back up. So everybody in the chat, hit the like button, please. Thank you for being here. We're just letting people get in here. We are streaming on the 3 channels in the network and the platform. We've got House of Consciousness going, and we've got my channel, the Rise channel, but we also have, of course, here the HOK Coliseum. But we're gonna wait a minute. Peace, Cedric. Cedric came in here and did a smoke session. Nobody. Oh, that's when you came up. Oh shit! No, is that when you came up? Yep. Because Cedric dipped out. He said, "Oh, I gotta go to bed. This shit's going. It's going too late." But it's always cool. So we can just get going. People start. I'm gonna leave it running on House of Consciousness for a minute because I want people to come in. You're muted, Xion. I want people to come in.
You said,
what?
Okay, my bad.
Go ahead.
You said I only get 30 minutes, right?
No, see what Sonetter did? You listening?
I just want to make sure I can get my spiel
No,
up. I didn't do a
no.
long, because I'm long-winded. You know, I hit 51. I got the OG.
You got the long, Your Honor,
I'm not fighting where Apostle in them at, but you know what I'm saying? It's coming.
Lockdown and shit. Like, okay, well, how many more? We got 5 more minutes. I got you. No. Actually, you're going to come in. I mean, it's not 30 minutes. Sonetter said, give them 30 minutes. You come in, and first off, I want you to let people know clearly what you are going to be putting out here. For me, I say the more they get triggered, the better the smoke, the higher the smoke. But you can have 30 minutes. I'll give you 30 minutes.
Okay. Cool.
It's just that Xion, let them get in here. And, once you get everything out, 30 minutes or less. Right. And then hopefully Cedric will get in here and try to take a swing at you.
I think Cedric is going to be pleasantly surprised with some of the things that I have to say. Actually.
Okay, so look at this. Let me think. What are you have a couple things that you do teach. What's the most controversial thing?
I was going to bring out some of the things that we had discussed last night, you know what I'm saying, with the bomb squad, something that, you know what I'm saying, they went and brought and asked, you know what I'm saying, Cat and Tazariak about, and also I wanted to pop off on, you know what I'm saying, on the Owaspy heads.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But it's going to have the because I deal with, the religious stuff from a symbolic and psychological perspective, where I don't think a lot of people really get that deep into it, but some get it, you know what I mean? So
let me do this. I'm going to try to do something new. I'm always doing so. I think I like this right now for when you do a show, but then okay, so I think we should get going. They know where to find us. I'm going to let it run a little bit, probably 1 or 2 more minutes, y'all, on the House of Consciousness. But then we got our brother Rakufu ready. He's always in the silo. He's always ready, locked and loaded. Okay, Rakufu, thank you. Stay there. What would we do without you? Let's cook some Owaspy. No, keeping up right now. We gotta give him the smoke. Y'all do that by another show. Okay, come on. Let's do this. What do we got here? What do we got? What are we doing? What do you want to present starting now? We're about
I got a little presentation. I'm gonna try to skip through some of it. You know how I try to go information overload.
So
but I'll share my screen.
If I fall off, it's because I'm switching devices. Just keep going.
Okay. So I'm going to share this right now and enlarge my screen.
Yes, perfect. I see.
Y'all know how I start. Y'all know how I get there.
Okay. Nice. All right.
All right, y'all. You know what I mean? Let's get ready, man. You know what I'm saying? Last night they said a few things, and there was certain things that was said when it came to the context of scripture, which I've been seeing quite a lot. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Bible, everybody wants to attack it from a very literal perspective. Brother Humble last night went and was like, oh, you don't believe this and you don't believe that. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, so you ain't a real Israelite. You know what I'm saying? And he threw a red herring, you know what I'm saying, by asking Captain Zariak, which is, you know what I'm saying, One West, and he's his own branch of, you know what I'm saying, One West, you know what I'm saying, the original One West, you know what I mean? However, you know what I'm saying, that does not, you know what I'm saying, pigeonhole me into his thinking, nor does it mean that my thinking is fringe. Actually, you know what I'm saying, my thinking is actually academic, and I'm going to show you that, you know what I mean? So real quick, let me get into it real fast, you know what I'm saying? Let me smush some heads real quick. The smooshing. So I'm going to use this quote here. Knowing that the material and spiritual progress are essential to man, we must ceaselessly work to for the equal attainment of both. He expands on the idea in the same context that the progress of science can be said to be harmful to religion only insofar as it is used for evil aims. You know what I'm saying? It's important that spiritual advancement must keep pace with material advancement. And so when I look at scripture and I read into it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not over here waiting, you know what I'm saying, for dudes to float up, for Kimbo Slice, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, to fly off of a cloud, you know what I'm saying, and enslave all Europeans. All right. So if you're going to sit there and make that claim against me, you know what I'm saying, for a perspective of how I look at the Bible and at my spiritual system, you know what I'm saying, and ideology, then, you know what I'm saying, you're having a Dunning-Kruger effect. So, family, tonight we're going to elevate the conversation, not with dogma, not with belief, but with African intellectual tradition, the tradition of symbolism, metaphor, parable, and mythic consciousness, right? So, I'm going to show you something simple but revolutionary. The Bible is not weakened when we read it symbolically. It becomes more African, Afrocentric again, Afro-Semitic again. And when we compare it to Kemetic mythos, we see a shared pattern, a shared African way of encoding truth, right? And so let me move forward a little bit. Does faith, he said, faith hinders this, that, and the other. Even Unc West, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? An adamant, you know what I'm saying, atheist, you know what I'm saying, who leans towards STEM and to science. Big shout out to my pseudo killers over there. You know what I'm saying? If y'all got anything, you know what I'm saying, y'all want to push back on, y'all know what it is, right? Does faith hinder knowledge? Not inherently, right? So when it's blind, yes, faith can hinder knowledge but it can also expand it depending on how it's used. If it demands literal belief, faith becomes a barrier, right? And contradicted by evidence, it shuts down questioning. It treats ancient texts as infallible. I'm gonna show y'all something. When y'all say, "Oh, y'all say it's the infallible word of God," the Bible don't say that. It shuts down questioning. It treats ancient texts as infallible. Science or history is incorrect, and if it places inquiry with replaces inquiry with obedience. So you can't question nothing. You can't, you know what I'm saying, point out this, you know what I'm saying. There must be a deeper meaning behind that. You know what I'm saying. Then you're having a problem here. Right? This is the version, and this is the version of faith that blocks knowledge. But faith becomes a catalyst when it inspires moral imagination. It encourages abstract thinking. I'm going to show you neurologically. Well, I will, if I ever have it. I might have to just do this as a presentation. It provides symbolic framework for meaning. It motivates exploration rather than suppressing it. You know what I'm saying? This is the version of faith that expands knowledge, the kind, you know what I'm saying, that I'm describing, right? So in the lineage of thinkers, Paul Tillich, faith as an ultimate concern, not literal belief, Ricoeur, myth as a symbolic world that reveals truth, not necessarily empirical facts, but there are intangible truths. You know, his Imperial Majesty quote that I just brought up, James Cone, scripture as a tool for liberation, not as a history book. None of these thinkers require the Bible to be error-free. Right? They treat it as cultural, ethical, and imaginative resource. There are errors in the Bible, yet it has value. All right. So this is not only reasonable, it is academically mainstream. Most scholars agree that the Bible is a human document written across centuries with contradictions, edits, and mythic layers, yet containing profound insight into human psychology, ethics, and identity. Even gets a little deeper than that with cultural diffusion and et cetera, fine patterns of migrations and such, you know what I'm saying, with these kinds of texts and thinking behind it. You're not diminishing the text by acknowledging its flaws, y'all. You're not. You're actually treating it with more intellectual honesty. Well, watch this, right? So faith as a promoter of the abstract, I get into some neurals, but watch this. Here's the interesting thing. When you look at the genealogy in Genesis chapter 5, nobody wants to decode it. You want to look at it from face value. Well, Adam, you know what I'm saying, beget Seth, and Seth Enosh, and Quran, and this one, and Mahalalel, you know what I'm saying, then et cetera, Enoch, Methuselah, you know what I'm saying, Lamech, Noah, right? And so now people start attacking you like, yo, did Adam exist? Did this person exist? But what you're missing here in Genesis chapter 5 is that it is actually a codified sentence. In the sentence, Adam means man, Seth means appointed, Enosh means mortal, Charon means sorrow, Mahalalel means blessed of God, or blessed by God, or blessed, you know what I'm saying, one. Jared shall come down, right? Jared means shall come down. Enoch means teaching. Methuselah means his death shall bring. Or, you know what I'm saying? Lamech means despair. You see where I'm going? So if you will read that and remove all of the little doodads, beget this one and that one, beget that one, you'll see that there is a sentence here just in the hidden meaning of the names. And the sentence says, man appointed mortal sorrow, the blessed one shall come down, teaching that his death shall bring a despairing rest. A whole sentence right there in front of your face, but you want to read it from the daggone surface of the script. You want to look at the finger but not where it's pointing to. All right? 1 Corinthians, here we go. Partial knowledge, imperfect prophecy. Even Corinthians, it says that the Bible is not Paul explicitly says, okay, so when you go, you got to believe everything in it, literal, and that if you don't, you ain't an Israelite. Well, argue that with Paul. We know in part, we prophesy in part, now we see through a glass darkly. This is a direct admission that human understanding is incomplete, prophecy is partial, and perception is distorted. So he's over here confessing to you. If prophecy is in part, then the written record of prophecy cannot be inherent. So if you're sitting over here denying that there are errors in the Bible, you don't agree with Paul. Oh. And you're reading from the Bible. How much of an oxymoron is that? Right? But you want to believe in daggone this dude. Y'all over here creating comic book characters because you want to read from the surface. Nathaniel. I'll get to that. John, the Spirit must correct and remind. Well, I thought we were getting all of the answers from the Bible. No, the Bible, Jesus says that, you know, saying that the Spirit, even the Spirit of truth, will bring all things to your remembrance. Right? If the Spirit must be correct, remind, or fill in gaps, then the disciples' memory, therefore, their writings were not perfect. This verse alone destroys strict inerrancy. 2 Corinthians, the letter kills. So there's this thing called reading in the dead letter, y'all. So we want to just read it from the surface, not dig deeper into the context, into the mythos and the symbolism. You know what I'm saying? Then what we're doing is we're just reading from the surface of the text, which is called dead letter. And what is a dead letter? A dead letter is a letter that cannot be sent to the recipient and can't be returned to the sender. If the written text were perfect, Paul would not contrast it with the Spirit as inferior, right? Jeremiah, the scribe, said that the scribes would corrupt the law. Jeremiah tells you that the Bible is going to be corrupted. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy, Moses predicts Israel will corrupt the Torah. Moses says you will utterly corrupt yourselves. Proverbs 30, 5 and 6, warning not to add to God's words. If God tells you not to do it, means that you can. And who's to say that it hasn't been? We know that it has. Added thou not unto these words. The text is vulnerable. Human error is possible. The written form is not automatically protected. A perfect text would not need this warning, y'all. Luke admits that he is compiling sources. He is getting from other texts, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first source, right? So he's putting these things together. Many others wrote accounts before him. He is compiling. But let me get down here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But y'all want to believe in Kimbo Slice Jesus. Galatians 2, Paul says Peter was wrong. Oh my God. Paul says Peter was wrong. The Bible explicitly says it uses parables. So if Jesus is the word of God and we compare Christ to the actual text and y'all saying that the text has no errors, you know what I'm saying? He said, or is literal, Christ is the symbol that is not. The Bible itself denies inerrancy. The writers admit partial knowledge, human memory, limits scribal corruption, and the need for the Spirit to correct and remind. If the Bible says humans know in part, then the Bible written by humans is also in part. So to you, it is given to know the mystery. To you, it is given to know the mysteries, but to them, it is not given, right? So that is in direct admission that his teaching and his method is symbolic, not literal. right? So we're going to come over here and talk about reading from the surface. Paul uses allegory. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew poetry is not literal by design. We can go into Revelation, understand the ancient people encoded truth in story, especially our people. Myth is not a lie, especially Afro-Semitics, Afro-Asiatic people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to stop this trying to pigeonhole folks. Oh, you don't sound like a Christian. Like, I guess you ain't read the Bible. You don't sound like an Israelite. I guess you ain't read the Bible. And I'm not worried what other people that you know what I'm saying? In-depth study of the Bible does promote abstract thinking, right? And this has scientific actual articles on this, which I'm not going to be able to get to tonight. And the reason is simple. The Bible is symbolic text, parables, allegories, metaphors, visionary images, poetic parallelism, typical characters, non-literal narrative structures. Any text that requires the reader to move beyond literal meaning automatically trains the brain in abstract, symbolic reasoning and metaphorical. You know what? Certain forms of mathematics do the same thing. That's why he said, well, I didn't have to use algebra or calculus when I got out of school. Why did they teach us that? Well, because it opened up certain neural pathways in your brain so that you could have the ability to have critical thinking skills. Linear. When others, some of y'all still doing 1 + 1, and we over here doing daggone. Come on, y'all. With the daggone stuff. So right temporal lobe, right? Studies using fMRI show that interpreting metaphors, I brought that out with Cedric when I debated them. Metaphors, parables, and symbolic language activates the right temporal lobe, medial prefrontal cortex, inferior frontal gyrus, default mode network DMN, right? These regions are responsible for abstract reasoning, imagination, narrative integration, moral reasoning, and theory of the mind. Biblical parables require exactly these functions. Why literalists struggle with abstract thinking? Because they're thinking in crayon, Selah Shalom. You ain't painting with a brush. Got crayon, bro. Right? Concrete thinking. We can go through all of that. Peer-reviewed neuroscience supporting abstract thinking in religious symbolic cognition. Right? Marsh as a source, Carnegie Mellon Universe, source, Cerebral Cortex, Oxford University Press, peer review. Y'all want to get into this? Y'all want to get smushed? Harrison Carver, Anna Raddick, Nathan Finch, Frontiers in Neuroscience, a review of neuroscience of religion, right? George Lakoff, Mark Johnson, Metaphors We Live By, University of Chicago Press. Wu-Tang D, peer-reviewed neuroscience source that interpreting symbolic narratives activates the higher order of brain region. I'm going to show you why this don't happen when you read the Owaspi. Imagination and moral reasoning, biblical scholarship show that scripture is intentionally metaphorical, parabolic. Therefore, deep study of the Bible, when read symbolically, strengthens abstract thinking. Literalism does not. But this is what they want you to believe in. You know what I'm saying? Over here with the spiritualism rise of the 19th century, you got cats coming to and fro with all kind of off-brand religious texts.
Okay, we don't do crack. We don't do that.
Look at these dudes. You know what I'm saying? It look like something off of the movie daggone Insidious. That's what we doing today. John Bilal Newborough was a dentist, practiced spiritualist seances, claimed spirits wrote the Owaspi through his hands, produced the cosmology with no historical or linguistic grounding. Contrast with thousands of years, contrasted against the black Kemetic, you know what I'm saying, sciences and biblical sciences and Ifa, you know what I'm saying, West African traditions, thousands of years of African myth, Hebrew prophetic traditions, Ethiopian contextual preservations, oral traditions across continents, philosophical systems older than Greece, like he wanted to try to confound y'all with his simplistic linear mind. He thinks over here, you know what I'm saying, with the teeth on the table. If you were going to discard ancient African and Afro-diasporatic wisdom, why would we replace it with the seance scribblings of a 19th century dentist? Probably,
just want you to blame it.
Probably using his own sedatives and stuff. Lighting candles with ghosts in the darkness. Owaspy is not ancient. It is a 19th century spiritualist text written by a dentist. Its cosmology is not culturally rooted. It has no connection to African, Near Eastern, or indigenous traditions. Its universe is not historically grounded. No archaeology, no linguistics. They got words in there that sound like pootie tang. He want me to wadata sarate. Language is invented. It uses a private vocabulary with no linguistic roots, my Damie.
Ew, I'm embarrassed. Can we?
Metaphysical fiction. Heavenly ships, angelic bureaucracies, ethereal oceans are not a part of any world view whatsoever. Oh, it came down from an angel to a dentist. I'm scared. What this dude is seeing dead people, man.
That's
Talking about it's better for black people. Owaspy 1880s. I'm gonna show you this whole thing. Invented vocabulary, invented a cosmology, Jehovah, Ehin, Ahua, Drux, atmosphere. What was that? Fraggle Patty, Fraggle Rock. You know what I'm saying? Fragopity. You know what I'm saying? Names like here, the Book of Mormon. Around the same time period, y'all. A little bit earlier. These dudes were freaking daggone throwing this stuff, this crap out, this butt paper out there like it wasn't nothing. I'm going to show you even more, right? Semitic roots, African roots, you know what I'm saying? None of these have any of it. None of these words, right? Then there's racial context and all of it. Scientology, same thing. 1950s. We're talking about from early 19th century all the way to the 20th. The Urantria book, right? So y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you want to, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you know what I'm saying? For a low fee, you can find an off-brand book to start a freaking religious cult and get you some Negroes who ain't that good with the King's English, like they like to say. It's so interesting that they all focused on how well you speak. Some cult dudes, right? Urantria book, 1958, invented the universe, invented beings, Nebadon, Orvatron, Melchizedek's sons, thought adjusters. These dudes had, you know what I'm saying? Scientology had the Thetians, the Ingrams, the Xenus, the operating Thetian level. None of these things have any Mesopotamian myth. It has none of the Mesopotamian names. It has some of they try to throw a couple of things in there, but they all mess it up. You know what I'm saying? Even pronounced in the language that Hebrew traditions, the Greek philosophies. You know what I'm saying? The cosmological galaxy, dictators, volcanoes. So you know what I'm saying? Like why? You know what I'm saying? Text, Owaspy, Book of Mormon, Scientology, Urantria, you know what I'm saying? Ancient texts, how they function. Here, the similarity, why they're rootless. Vocabulary has no linguistic root, reflects 19th century racial pseudoscience, not any ancient culture. Okay, go to the Book of Mormon. No Semitic or indigenous linguistic roots, reflects American racial theology. Oh, wait, why everything turning into race over here, right? Over here, Scientology, terms invented, Hubbard, no grounding in psychology, religion, or ancient cosmology. And he has a freaking hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Ashtar Command, you know what I'm saying, with some blonde-haired, blue-eyed aliens that rule the universe. Huh?
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Urantria book, you know what I'm saying? Entire cosmology has invented racial categories. Why did this keep on happening? Have no anthropological or cultural lineage, right? and keep on going, bro. Look, The Law of One, Raw Material, A Course in Miracles, The Science of the Mind, 1926, Dianetics, right? 1950, The Book of Urantria Papers, 1920, 1950, the Koibrin. You say, which one do you want to pick, y'all? You know what I'm saying? You want the butter, you want the buttercream, you know what I'm saying? Off brand, you know what I'm saying? Fake Tims, or you want the fake, you know what I'm saying? Faux daggone beef and broccolis. What, just want to get
out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
You know what I'm saying? Colbrin, the Silmarillion, Tolkien, Legendarium, 1930s to 1970, Shaver Mystery. This is around the same time that Aleister Crowley and Madame Blavatsky were rocking. They were all on some weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it's the one from the dentist that we should follow. Bruh. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Smush gang, baby. You know what I'm saying? Wipe your mouth off, fix your face, watch what you say to me. Wipe the milk off your mouth, too, before y'all talk to me, young man.
I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage!
Oh my goodness. That was wild. Oh.
Down!
Oh my gosh.
With me, yo. That's why homeboy ran off at the.
Let me tell you something now. This might be the apex of the smoke. I think we have found the smooshing of all smooshings. Anyone out there, a waspy? We need.
They don't want none of this because they ain't looking at it from these angles, yo. So they totally defenseless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd say the bomb squad probably the only, you know what I'm saying, the only ones that gonna come over here with anything to say.
I think I
That's
see
even
Iron
relevant.
fans in the chat, but they're agreeing with you. Here's the link. That was really. I gotta just. I mean, come on, y'all. That was. Come on, this is what the Owaspy is doing. Oh, y'all gonna have to embrace each other, give each other some love. Oh my gosh. Okay, listen, Selah, you know we love you, brother. You need to get in here because someone has completely smushed who did those slides? Those things were.
I you know what I'm saying? I ran through that today, yo.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let Rakufu come in, okay?
All right, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
All right, that was awesome. Yeah. Come on in. Peace, Rakufu.
Peace, family. Hey, that was fire. Yes, it was.
No, I appreciate you, man.
That was really fire.
Only thing I want to say to your presentation is that you only added with the Mormon and all of that.
Hey, where are you at? You out in the ether? Where are you at?
Yeah.
Oh.
I try to fix it like this. This okay?
I like it. No, I'm just wondering if we're talking to you from outer space.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I like it. Keep going.
Okay, so I was going to say, I just like the way you added and expanded from the Urantia to the Mormons and everything else, because we talked about that in the Urantia's connections last night, and the night you just added with those other groups, and it's all in the racism, and they made those, they're like cartoon characters.
Right.
You just did a fantastic job at just bringing out what is real, and I'm waiting to hear a rebuttal from one of them guys with Nepal being able to, so they won't be effing you and this talk to.
But they gonna come with the rhetoric. They come with the rhetoric if they do.
That was good, Don. Damn, that was thorough. Hey, thank you, Rakufu. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead. That's it.
Yeah. And when you kept saying, when you said the Urantia, what is that? I think my dad had that. It was like 50 million pages of
right. Of a bunch of freaking mumbo jumbo.
Hey, Xion, that's why I brought it up.
Use it to step up on the stuff to reach stuff when I was little.
Xion, that's why I brought it up in the part too last night, because I remember my Hollywood days. We used to go out to Hollywood and be at the studio, and the white boys would bring them books, them the Urantia, and I just used to read it, blow one and read it. Right, be like, this is crazy.
It's big, right? It's crazy. So many pages.
Straight out of the comic.
I used to read a bunch of those books too, man. When I was young, I was really
Fragapati is the word.
You know, I think they said it's pronounced fragiopathy or something.
Oh, fragiopathy, of course.
Yeah, still having no etymological root, no symbolism, no true meaning behind the name. So nothing to get past the surface layer of the story. No symbolic meaning.
Oh, that was good. Let me tell everybody like the video.
Like the video. Thumb up the video.
Well, we're just, you know what? I'm disappointed in those who. It's like no one wants to. It's like you just nuke the entire. Where's the creator gang, bruh?
Yeah, yo.
Where are you? Creator gang, creator gang, creator gang. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? So they're not coming in. So in the meantime, I want to talk to you about when you said the thing about, you made a good point about that era. I'm very fascinated with that era. I'm not.
Yeah, it was deep. It was deep, and it did have some influences even in the Black community. But you know what I'm saying? We started forming our own, groups. But we were founding it on ancient texts. You know what I'm saying? And digging deep, like you can also say the Nation of Islam and Farad Muhammad and all of that stuff came around. So while the white folks was doing their things, they were creating their own little cults and mystery schools. You know what I'm saying? It became popular. It was like a popular culture at the time. And it spanned all the way from, the early 1900s all the way up into the early 2000s.
So would you say Noble Drew Ali was a part of that movement as well? Not that
I wouldn't say he was a part of that movement, but definitely influenced. Yeah, definitely influenced by the popular culture of the time. Yeah. All of them were. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Freaking daggone Noble Drew Ali, but they were doing it for the liberation of Black people.
Right.
And none of those books had anything to do with any civil rights. None of their leaders made any statements, to the world, placed in newspaper. You won't find nothing, beneficial to Black folk. So while they might say that this is better, you have no examples to show that it was ever. Right. Since early 1800s.
Man.
Objection. Speculation. Objection foundation. It's egregious.
Hey, so would you also say, let's say that was during that time period, the Nation of Islam, like you said, all of those were coming out and everybody was doing their thing. Who would you say at that, would that be like what, 1890?
Well, I think, when we talk about, Owaski book is 1882, but the early spiritualist movements, like that one picture with those ladies that was sitting around, it looked like they was in a seance, not the AI images, but the first one in my slide, when I first started getting to this topic part, they were, I'll bring it back up.
While you doing that, let me ask you this, listen.
Yeah.
I'm in Hollywood one time. It's a street called Franklin. It is a temple up there, the Metaphysical Society, right?
Yeah.
This is by Manly P. Hall. He's over, I don't know say if he's over Blavatsky, but
the theosophy, right?
You know what I'm talking exactly.
Yeah.
So what's good with Manly P. Hall? Is he like, who was he? I never hear nobody bring him up.
That's something I would have to delve a little bit deeper into. I studied a lot of the text, didn't really study a whole bunch about the people in context, even for this, because I knew it was going to be brief. But if anybody wants to take the debate, that's what I do. I'm a researcher too. I look up to my brother Reggie for being such a great researcher. I'm a paralegal, so that's what I'm training is researching, not just scholastically, or that's just legally, but scholastically as well, and I'll say this, to brother Reggie, I love him, he always wants to pigeonhole the Bible thumpers and other people who disagree with the certain Kemetic context to only using the primary, being able to read the Metu and this, that, and the other. And that's actually that's actually a burden shifting fallacy, because even in scholarship, you know what I'm saying, there are those who have not necessarily are not able to read. So if I'm just doing a presentation or I'm making an argument for debate, I don't have to be the one that read the primary source. I'm going to bring up multiple scholars. Secondary sources are valuable too, to support what is the consensus is about the text and what it says. Now, he, of course, can always retort and you know what I'm saying, because he knows it, and that kind of leaves you at a disadvantage, but he tries to place everybody at a disadvantage because they can't read it like he can. And that's
Are you talking about who? Who are you talking about?
Brother Reggie.
Oh, Reggie, you have smoke with Reggie about?
I don't have no smoke with Reggie. I love Reggie, man. That's my elder.
When you have smoke with somebody, we all love each other.
No, but just on that, when he does that to Bible thumpers, and then, you know what I'm saying, or to those who are, you know what I'm saying, that he's back and forth from what I seen him do that, I think with Kazad, right? He did that with Kazad. He tried to like, read that, you know what I'm saying? And Kazad brought up, you know what I'm saying, the primary, you know what I'm saying? And then he brought up what the scholars were saying about it. First and foremost, they had asked the brother, you know what I'm saying, oh, show us some sources, show us some academic sources. Then he came with the sources, and they were like, no, man, read it. No, get those sources out of here. Yo, man. Yo, you asked for it, and then you filed a motion to suppress.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Motion denied, yo.
What do you think about that?
About which one?
What he said, like how sometimes brothers like that know the meta netter. I'm not, some people I'm not focusing on.
Yeah, it's not just Reggie though who did it either. Yes,
like,
wasn't just Reggie.
Like read that then, but they do that with the Hebrew too, though.
Yeah, they do that too. I ran into the Israelites like that. Like, can you read that? Can you read that, Ak?
I think it may be a
yo, man, objection.
and
objection, relevance.
Right.
Tactic.
What you say?
Yeah, it is. And it's a way to try to block you. Yeah, it's strategic. You know what I'm saying? It's a deflection. Or, you know what I'm saying, and it's basically burden shifting. Which is a fallacy. It's used, I mean, if you can get away with it and the dude falls for it, you know what I'm saying, all good. But I'm gonna object to that, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Not to downplay it, but to say in battle mode, it's a
yeah. No, listen, man. I watch videos on debating, and they tell you the tactics. They tell you about the tactics. Now, I try to, you know what I'm saying, I try to come straight clean, you know what I'm saying? And I'll only use certain tactics that are not manipulative, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, still at the same time might be like a passive, pop shot or whatever, you know what I'm saying, ad harm, but not necessarily attacking the person personally, just, you know what I mean, indirectly, those things are part of persuasive argumentation, y'all.
You read, I'm pretty sure you've heard of, if not read, The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Yes, absolutely. Come on, B. You ever seen the background of my house?
Okay, so look, on the back of the book, when I was reading it, said to even be a manager at that level, just that mere manager in any Japanese corporation, you must have read The Art of War. That go to show the mind state of a unified nation.
Right. See my crib? Yeah, you think I ain't read The Art of War?
Wow, I have katanas actually in Chinese.
I'm Chinese, yo.
Oh yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Holy Tolfat.
I know to say don't lie in Mandarin and Cantonese.
I know all the curse words and stuff and kung fu terms.
Hey, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
Easy Bands is saying exactly, Xion. Too much smoke and mirrors in this community.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever you were saying about how, I guess, the reading part.
So
I guess nobody wants smoke on the Owaspy. Do you have any other thing? Do you have any other? So are you a Bible? So I want to get really figure out what you subscribe to.
Yeah.
What is it? I know about the Ethiopian Bible. I mean, I think you did a debate on that? Or
calls me a cultural, you know what I'm saying, Rastafari Israelite, which in some senses I would say yes. But, the Bible says that you only have to exercise a mustard seed of faith. So it does not tell you that you have to compromise your reason and logic to believe in, but you can faith, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I do believe that, you know what I'm saying, while there is a lot of things that are chaotic, and you can't really, we make predictions every day. But I think naturally that there are things that are spiritual happening, and we tend to see them, and whether we're just being totally objective and observational, you're not going to see it, But if you're being aware and reading into certain symbolisms, and certain things start just like popping out at you, and they could say it's minutia, or that, your mind is creating those things. Our minds created numbers. Our minds created dollars. We place value. We place quantification on numbers. Those things do not exist in the objective, material realm. They exist in here, in the spirit of what is being, conveyed through.
Good point. Yeah. So do you agree with Terrence Howard that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4?
No, I don't rock with Terrence Howard.
What is it?
He my main though. He my main though.
You what?
He my main no. But no, I don't agree with everything. I would I don't know, the way he sounded like he was explaining it, it just didn't add up to me. You know what I mean?
I think he's trying to invent something. I forget what it was that I was listening to.
Shoot,
some kind of math, some machine that I forget what it was, but it was wild.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
He's about to go to Mars. So yeah, this is cool.
So I'm a Rastafari, and that's a socio-political, nationalistic, cultural, identity. Its connection with the early American movements of 1936 and all the way up to the 1970s. I'm a part of that, and I do feel that it is the most rational way for me to perceive things that were prophesied.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You know what? As I think about it, because I met some serious Rastas when I went. I went on tour with Killer Priest and some of the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, you told me before.
And it was good. And I met them in Canada. They were real. They were really about that life.
They got enough Rasta up there. So
yeah, it was good. It was good. Shout out to Lord Fury. He's not really a Rasta, but he showed me. I forgot the name of the older elder. I watched a lot of great documentaries and like stuff that he had recorded, personal stuff that he had when he was in Jamaica, and it's interesting. I'd like to see more people come in and teach on it, because the stuff that I saw, I was very, very. It was a humbling experience to see. I think they do, like, he gave me a story about all these things, how the elder stood for like 24 hours, like that kind of dedication, just talking. I mean, everybody just stood. No one sat down.
Right.
And the elders didn't sit down. And because he didn't sit down, the elder, everybody just stood, literally stood for over 24 hours, just standing there talking.
No, the Naya Bingis go on for 3 days straight.
Yeah, what is it called again? That right there.
Naya Bingi.
Yeah, Naya Bingi. Explain what that is to the people.
So, before he does, let me just say, Xion, also, can you bring in the essence? I'm a studier. I like to go back to the seed as opposed to the root, because we know the roots come out of the seed.
Yeah.
So I go to the seed of a movement. And in the seed of the Rasta movement, myself studying, I found that India is heavily influenced, as far as we think it's the Africans where the dreadlocks are coming from. But they're actually coming off the Ganges River, the Ganges.
Yes. Yeah. Because there are a lot of Indian, Indiman and such and
Hindu's Kush, going back to Kush.
Absolutely. You got Hindu Kush in the home line. So there's some connections. Even Haile Selassie had some meetings and communications with the leadership in India and what was going on. And so there are rosters who subscribe to Indian Hindu thinking, but they look at Haile Selassie in a divine position.
Yeah, that was interesting.
There was actually one dude who was like a guru way back, and he said, and he was famously known for saying that he saw and spoke to His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie in the 80s when he was supposed to have been, ascended in the 70s. So they even have lore, you know what I'm saying, about legend and lore about Haile Selassie themselves.
Xion, can we get a movie where do we know the twins was killed by Steven Seagal? Look, I want it to be a mysterious triplet that never was found.
You know what I'm saying? Word up, man. That's me, you know what I'm saying? Screwface, man. I don't know Screwface. No one hot shot dead.
That'd be cold, man. Because I heard it came out. Because you got to look at I looked at the historical. Okay, so the mafia is more like, what's his name? Benny, the one from all of the Italians. Then you got the Rasta in Ethiopia. So the first war, when was it Menelik? Whoever
Menelik II, with the Italians.
That war. So then Benito Mussolini invaded on those grounds for revenge. In the street boost to the ground, the other players is the mafia versus the Rasta posse.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You see that?
Yeah.
Peace, Asar Mka. We got
Imitap says, Imitap brothers.
What's good with you? You know what I'm saying?
What you think of? Did you see the brother's presentation? He blew it. Oh my gosh! He took it
on the attack.
Goodness gracious! I was like,
everybody be like, "Yo, Xion, why you sound like you preaching, man? I was raised by preachers."
Hiroshima, nuclear bomb blast.
I be getting ready to start humming on you.
Oh Lord! Hey, what do you want to add? It's Asarmka. It's always a pleasure. What do you want to add, brother?
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, Neil, I missed you yesterday. I seen you.
I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you was watching that MMA fight out of what was your boy out of Colorado? He fought last night.
Yeah, this one of my old training partners, Justin.
Yeah,
he got it done. He took the interim title.
Yeah, so
my youngin got busy. Man, I ain't gonna dig into the Owaspy hole and I'm gonna let y'all hash that out. Let's go into the Cabra Nagas though, since we over in Ethiopian area. So which one of the Abbas, fathers for the people watching, which are the Ethiopian fathers, which one of the Abbas, like in the Cabra Nagas or even the church fathers, do you generally tend to read and style your thinking after?
Well, I've studied quite a bit from Basilius and some of the Abbas that were around the time of Haile Selassie, but I'm not an Ethiopian Orthodox. You know what I mean? I'm a Rastafari, and our doctrine, I'm a Rastafari Israelite. LOJS, stand up. You know what I'm saying? Rabbi Rasa Idonis. We actually come out of the commandment keepers, you know what I'm saying? More so. And I have to make a correction, because I had said in the past that it was Rabbi Matthews who went to Ethiopia and lived and died. It wasn't Rabbi Matthews. It was Rabbi Josiah Arnold Ford, right, of the commandment keepers. So it's a part of the culture more so than a part of my liturgical and ideological perspectives. Ethiopian Orthodox Church has its place, but as a Rasta, like my brethren, Ra, what was his name? The other Rasta man who comes up here.
Rastafari, or
you're talking about Trent. Dang.
Right.
Rebel
Rock. Yeah, Rebel Rock. Right. So
Rebel Rock. Is that his name?
Yeah. Well, I've seen it as Rebel Rock, Ras, or Rebel Rasta. You know what I mean? So
from the song, the one who does a song with Afro Nation.
Right, but I yes, I think so. Yeah. No, that's
you're talking about the other brother, Rebel Rock. Rebel Rock. I'm thinking.
Yeah. I thought you. Yeah, I know. Right.
But what's the other brother now? Because I'm sorry. Revelation 1.
Revelation. Yeah, man. Bless up, King. Yeah, man. But there are Rastas who go towards the Orthodox. Right. Yeah, the Orthodox faith, which is a foundational part of the early Rastafari movement as well. But the early Rastafari movement, the youth black faith, was more politically grounded. It did have Bible scriptures and stuff. They did not subscribe to, the full doctrines of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Maybe they would get baptized or whatever, but they had their own doctrine. Bubble Shanti too, Nyabingi order as well. So 12 tribes of Israel. All of these are different groups of Rasta that have their own doctrine, and that is the early Rastafari movement. It's no more illegitimate than those who subscribe fully to the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I do read the Kevin Nagast, and not Kevin Nagast. I've studied. I look at it as a political mythos to bolster and support a claim that was there for thousands of years. But for that dynasty, the Solomonic dynasty, it has some symbolism within the language that we can trace certain things. Like, for instance, when somebody says, "Oh, you believe that Abraham is real?" I don't have to. That to me is a wasted argument. The argument is, what can I extract from the Abraham story that is real or historical? You understand what I'm saying? And so we can see with Abraham, we can see transmigration patterns being spoken of in a legend and lore kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and stand on it as being absolutely empirical history, but I can find that, from the Ur of Chaldea, the Levant area, that people went down into Egypt and then down into Canaan and such and blah, blah, blah. All of that is in there. All of that is in context. It's just written in a lore or mythical fashion. And so learning how to take away the wheat from the chaff. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at those scriptures and stuff. And that's why I like the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, because they have books that are absolutely some of them are contradictory to each other. That's why the Greco-Romans wanted to remove those from the canon so that they could bolster and support their doctrine or ideology of how they viewed Christianity through the books that they chose to stay in the Bible, and the rest they tried to discard. Ethiopians was like, we ain't discarding none of this. None of it. All of it is relevant. All of it is good for study. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
man.
thought with the commandment keep, so
yeah,
because I know the early commandment keepers, you go back to it's so crazy because they're like, it's like the commandment keepers and it's the Ethiopian Orthodox something that's mixed
right.
together.
Moorish Jews. Yeah.
So they're like a group and a branch together.
Yes. Yep.
And
they were
it spreads.
Right. And they were a part of the organization called the Ethiopian World Federation, 1936, established by Malako Ibeyan under the charge of Haile Selassie I, who sent them here, you know what I'm saying, to build with African American community a unity between Ethiopia. And that's where Ethiopianism, you know what I'm saying, was born out of. Yes.
And ask Xion, I know you and Asar was just talking about the Kabra Nagas.
Yeah.
But another book, the Book of Mysteries of Heaven and Earth, that deals with cosmology, angels, demons, astronomy.
Right. Yeah.
And it reflects ancient Afro-Asiatic sacred science, strong apocalyptic worldviews.
Yes.
That would be one I would think the people you probably do check out. I haven't read it.
Right. Oh, I would definitely want to check that out, because that has that, kind of the apocalyptic language. Yeah. And that's why Revelation, while you read it, it tells you how they were thinking at the time, dealing with Roman influence and Roman, Hellenization and stuff. And it had deeply codified language, banging language, like I said in my presentation, that it was clearly banging language against Greco-Roman Hellenization. So we saw two factions. And I found this thing too that says that talks about the scholars theological scholars who say that the Antichrist within Revelation was actually not supposed to be some future dude that came down like everybody's waiting for the Antichrist. Donald Trump is the Antichrist. No, that's not what they extracted from it. It was actually a twisted and contorted version of Christianity from the original apostolic faith, the Greco-Roman version of Jesus, from the Yahawashai, or whatever you want, you know what I'm saying, the Afro-Semitic version, you know what I'm saying, the myopposites and how they viewed it, quite different. And so they looked at it as not a mirror image, but like, you know, a demonic copy, a clone.
So let me because obviously the attachment to Ethiopia, that's important. When it comes to Haile Selassie shot over to Ethiopia to run it, right?
Yes, sir.
How deep do you go? You know the first organized catechetical school is in Egypt. How deep do you go into the Coptic faith, and how closely is that to your Rastafarian studies? Like how much do you integrate?
Okay, yeah, you know, it's deeply rooted, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, their canonical, you know what I'm saying, doctrine and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's more about the preservation of ancient texts, what that means historically to the value of the Afro-Semitic origins of biblical context. And it, like these guys were talking about the other day, and I don't want to, you know, get deflect from it or lose my thought, but they always say, oh yeah, it was the Bible was a Greek document. It was a Greek document. No, it was a document written by Semitic people who wrote in Greek, right? And then when we translated it back into the Ge'ez, translating it back into the Ge'ez brought back the Semitic the syntax that we see in the Greek. So if you see, just because it's written in Greek, so for instance, if I write a text or write a book, you know what I'm saying, or write a thesis paper or something, and, you know, 100 years later, no, you know, it just says my born name, Brian Waring, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying, and somebody doesn't see my picture, they see that it's written in English, to assume that the writer is a European English person is a fallacy of equivocation. And so this is what, when I heard, you know, Bomb Squad and them say that, oh yeah, it's a Greek text, Septuagint is a Greek text. I have sources that say otherwise. Who want that smoke?
He said,
you know,
we're going to skip over the Philo.
Right. So, right. So we will, you know, but when we get to the Ethiopia, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the preservation, you know what I'm saying, of text. It's the cultural continuity of the origins of these, you know what I'm saying, belief systems and practices, being in that Nile region, you know what I'm saying, being connected to Nubia, to Egypt, which we already know has had, you know what I'm saying, cultural diffusion and cultural influence on Judaism and Christianity. That's where I meet. That's where Ethiopian Orthodox Church meets with my Rastafari cultural, philosophical.
Okay. That's why I wanted to see how deep you
you know.
I go to Philo and connect it up. I see a brother down there. I don't want to.
Okay.
Walk it up. We'll let him hop in.
Yeah, man. Reese from Philly. Peace, God.
What's up, bro?
Shalom, man. You know what I'm saying? Philampta. Do you want to chime in?
No, I'm just getting some Rasta knowledge. I don't know anything about it. Actually, I got a cousin out of New York that's a Rasta.
Yeah.
His name is Rasan. He in a group called I&I. We're in our 50s, so we go back. Like,
yeah, no doubt. You know what I mean? That's what's up, man.
What's up here?
Bless and love to the I&I, young money.
Is God, though? Is there a God concept in that?
Yes, of course. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody has different, you know, there's groups that have different perspectives. And Rastafari, you know, has, you know, people who have their, you know, personal existential interpretations of how. So it's not like you don't really ever see Rastafari going out there proselytizing. You know, like when I was learning Rasta, you know what I'm saying, there was a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Rastafari around me, Jamaican, you know what I'm saying, in Long Island and everything. And I went to, when I was young, I was intrigued. You know what I'm saying? There's a dude across the street, dreadlock dude. He's always in the garden, freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, growing fruits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I went up to, I had to, you know what I'm saying, you know, I was like, yo, can you tell me about Rasta? He said, no, Rastafari, you know what I'm saying, you have to. He's like, you have to get it, you know what I mean? I can't tell it to you, you know what I mean? So then I went on my journey studying and stuff. That's when I was studying like 5% and Islam and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Back in Long Island, New York, you know that time period, early 1990s and stuff like that. The knowledge was out there. You know what I'm saying? You,
Bro,
you
I
know,
was
so you
behind the
ain't know
wall.
your mathematics. You was gonna get a universal beat down.
Yo,
Those are the good old days, man.
I was behind the wall in the 90s when they went and got everybody and the feds and
Okay.
everything. That shit was a clown show, dog.
Yeah, man.
I was locked up with a lot of people from New York.
But when Giuliani was doing the Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Before that, 94, 95.
Okay. No doubt, man. Yeah, I got caught up. I was at Marcus Garvey Park, B. Marcus Garvey Park. I'm sitting over there. You know what I'm saying? One of them times, you know what I'm saying, I always had to go stop by, you know what I'm saying, saw
Y'all,
that.
don't know if y'all know it or not, but behind the wall a lot, they used to let people debate in the masjids and in the churches.
Yeah. We had the slave museum. We had the slave museum, you know what I'm saying, which was like a theater, you know what I'm saying, slave theater. You know what I'm saying? We used to go there and they used to have debates there in the whole nine, B. You know what I mean?
Reese, where you do your time at? You was in Rikers?
No,
I wasn't. Oh, you talking to him?
I'm from Philly.
Okay.
I did my bid in Jersey and PA.
Okay.
I was in New York.
You ain't nothing but 2 seconds over across the GWB. I'm just saying that, some cats do they bid in,
When you're in the feds, they take you to some weird places.
Yeah, they take you somewhere else.
You usually end up out here in Colorado. I end up putting money on Poe's books. He was in there with my man Zay Boo. They hopped on the horn before we knew he snitched. I was like,
I had all them kings when I was down there from everywhere. They all clowns. I don't care who name you threw out there.
War stories, baby.
I don't have none of that.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Xion.
Yeah, man.
All right, so dealing with Ethiopia, right? So I was looking up. I was going back to the Abrahamic before I said so. The Arabian Sabian script derived from earlier African script. Yes. So now we're dealing with a script prior to the Hebrew influence and the Christian influence on Ethiopia.
Right.
Now I want to ask you from that perspective. Now we're going back and, like I say, I like to go to the seed instead of the roots. Islam, Christianity, Judaism would be the root. The seed would take us back to the ancient tribes and the tribes of the land, as they call it, like the Zulu and stuff. So when we dealing with that aspect, have you ever went back and got like founded in places like Da'amat, D-A-M-A-T, which was a kingdom that came before the rise of Hebrewism, or the Hebrew kings of Ethiopia was called Damat, and it was in a time period just after Cush and Egypt were part of each other. So the families there, like, is there any historical information to paint a picture we can see that visual, as because we always get an Abrahamic forward.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, like with the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, some of that stuff was actually infused, like the terms exhibier. Also, that in the Nile region, you know what I'm saying, they had from Egypt all the way down to Nubia and stuff. There was always kind of this man, woman, and child theme, you know what I'm saying, in the divine cosmologies. We see that in the I forget the names, Behir, what is it? Behir, Astar, which is, Ashtar. You know what I'm saying? We see that in there. Yeah, we see that in there. You know what I'm saying? So when we now turn around and look at this kind of, the power of the Trinity, you know what I'm saying? We see Father, you know what I'm saying, Mother, and the Son, and the iconography. It wasn't a far stretch for them to receive Christianity in that sense, you know what I'm saying? And still interject their traditional, divine perspectives into how they view that, And I think it's bringing it back to a more original context in which it was written in the first place, or even conceived in the first place.
Because I get it, but you would have to admit, as African Americans being stripped of language, culture, through the slave trade, Atlantic slave trade, that if we go back into that western part of Africa, we see the libraries at Timbuktu being destroyed and their families having to hide the books. Even to this day, Arab people, I don't want to say Arabs altogether, but certain Arab clans over there, they're trying to get the books, burn the books. They don't want the books to be deciphered.
They want to wipe that history, right? They want to wipe
that from an African American's perspective that I am, would interest me to know my people from their perspective, their readings, their writings, what they had to say about something, as opposed to an under-influenced Negro talking to me.
Right. And that's what the interesting thing is with the Ethiopian monks and stuff in those rock-hewn churches. You know what I'm saying? Which they got they're in plateaus. Some of the things are so death-defying just to get up there. You know what I'm saying? That it had to be almost impossible for the Roman Catholics and or Roman Byzantine people to get in there. Even Islam, they were so isolated. That's why they were preserved for so long, and why they were able to preserve so many texts. And we don't even know the depth of how many texts that they have preserved, even prior to Christianity. You know what I'm saying?
You know where you got me at, because I'm thinking about the Catholic Church and how they talk about they got those libraries underground,
right?
All those Arab deserts and tents that got stuff we didn't.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's of the Vatican. You know what I'm saying? What's underneath? What's in those rock-hewn churches?
That point.
Yo, I got a question.
Yeah.
What are the Ethiopians following now? Like, what's their religion right now? Most of them.
Well, right now, that Pentecostalism has gotten over there, non-denominationalism. You know what I'm saying? As Ethiopia became more modernized, you had a lot more Christian missionaries from different groups coming in, and so yes, Ethiopia's face has changed from the time that Haile Selassie and Menelik II. You know what I'm saying? And then even going back further, you know what I'm saying, to the 4th century and 3rd century AD. You know what I'm saying? Where they were totally isolated from the world. You know, now you can see folks in there doing the same things that church folks here in America are doing. Preaching the same way, singing gospel the same way.
I've seen the goofy videos on YouTube.
Shoot. Somebody was backstage. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Come on back. That was Joshua.
So
okay. So I'm sorry, Reese. And you know what? Reese has been up here patiently waiting. Peace, Reese.
He's been talking with us already. Yeah. Reese been in the mix. Yeah. So
I was going to tell Reese about Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, because I asked the chat what is the leading religious movement in Ethiopia.
Reese did speak.
Yeah, he spoke.
Damn, I was y'all
integrated him in the mix.
I pulled this netter just now.
So when we talk about liberty, right?
Yeah. Yes, I.
And shout out to Sonetter.
Like you have the dietary, you have your ital.
Right.
We're talking about the life, and when it comes to the promised land, which is supposed to be Zion and supposed to be back in Africa, do you see America as that Zion and where you can practice the liberty at, or
well,
I'll let you expand, on that.
Black Uhuru got this song, you know what I'm saying? Black Uhuru, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael Rose, you know what I'm saying? Icon of reggae music, one of the Black Uhuru. And he has a song called "The Whole World is Africa, but it's divided in continents, them. So the people have no pity, so the city have no pity." Whoa. I had to throw the boy in there. So from a Rasta perspective, you know what I'm saying, the whole world, you know what I'm saying, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. However, we do look at Ethiopia and Sheshamani because there's a land grant that was placed there in 1940s, you know what I'm saying, by Haile Selassie, you know what I mean? And so we do have a nationalist centered view around, Ethiopia and Africa. Repatriation is a huge part of the dialogue and belief systems within Rastafari. So to leave even just the touchdown in Africa, Ghana, you know what I'm saying, what have you, you know what I'm saying, West Africa, South Africa, doesn't even matter. Just to go home is one of the most powerful things that we could do, you know what I'm saying, in our lifetime. A Muslim has to go to Mecca at least, you know what I'm saying, once in their lifetime. We must go to Ethiopia, Sheshamani, or whatever part of Africa you get an opportunity to go to, just to touch down with the motherland, you know what I'm saying, kiss the ground and, you know what I'm saying, eat from the earth and all of that, you know. So here we have Rastas who deal specifically with the liberty, you know what I'm saying, which is the dietary laws and the political, socio-political belief systems, the natural lifestyle. Some of us, you know what I'm saying, have our little problems, but you know what I mean, more or less, you know what I mean, the ITAL food and everything, and they don't necessarily subscribe to the religious doctrines, you know what I'm saying, like Rebel Ross said, you know, that he calls them Christafaris. I say that those are the original Rastafari, really, you know what I mean, but or the Judaic, you know what I'm saying, more Judaic Rastas, or the more, you know what I mean. So there's even Kemetic Rastas who focus more on the Kemetic sciences. You know what I mean? It's very, very liberal in that sense. You know what I mean? However, we all agree and on, you know, that leadership of His Imperial Majesty, on African Zionism and Black unity, you know what I'm saying, internationally, you know what I mean, what have you, you know what I mean? That's always going to be the root, you know, and nature and the Black family, man, woman, and child, you know what I mean?
I got a question for you, Zion, on the marijuana itself, right? This is interesting because as it's been studied, the marijuana, when you eat it or drink it, the spiritual awareness lasts longer. I want to call it.
Yeah, it does last longer. It's like if you ate
and it's healthier for the body.
Healthier, yeah. There's a Rasta elder, you know what I'm saying, who's around, and he talks against smoking herb. You know what I'm saying? He says man cannot eat fire.
I remember I seen him. He got long gray.
Yes, white dreads. Yep. Man should not eat fire. So he buns a lot of Rastaman them for smoking the herbs instead of actually eating or ingesting it. And that's the way you get the more medicinal, because even when you burn it, you're really burning a lot of the medicinal aspect, you know what I'm saying, properties out of the herb itself. Okay. But the smoke was symbolic. Biblically, the smoke was also a way of burning down Rome. It had a symbolic, spiritual meaning, an esoteric meaning behind it. And the drums, she asked me about Nyabingi. Nyabingi, we go out there and you have Nyabingi drummers and you got the heartbeat rhythm. You know what I'm saying? For hours, you know what I'm saying? The empresses are out there with the fruits and the children are running around and it smells like patchouli and Egyptian musk and ganja, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful. And everybody's singing and, you know what I'm saying, for 3 days straight. Fire, you got a fire, you have to have a bonfire, and everyone goes and puts the stick in the fire to represent burning down Rome and white supremacy. It's all in the liturgy and the practice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the smoke of the saints, I call it the smoke of the saints, you know what I mean? That's burning down Rome as well, you know what I mean?
And they do that on Venice Beach out here in LA a lot, deep. I mean, we go down there.
Yeah. Like you can see them, fire!
So you about to embark on battle with the Owaspi brothers.
All right.
The first debate.
Yeah.
You and
shout out to Shalom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Player haters ball, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, do me a favor, break down white supremacy for me real quick. I want to line it up.
White supremacy is a global idea that, you know what I'm saying, white people are superior and should have global control over the planet, its resources, and the people, you know what I'm saying, of the actual Aboriginal people of this planet, you know what I'm saying, are subjugated through that. And they do not, they might have different ways of viewing this and they might have problems amongst each other. But one thing that they do agree on is that their power is supreme. And so this is why I have a problem when we start dividing ourselves against, you know, Aboriginal peoples and people of color and black, you know what I'm saying, and brown peoples globally, and talking about tethers and stuff like that, because that is divide and conquer. If we're divided, then we make ourselves a majority, when in truth, globally, we are a majority. So black empowerment, black supremacy was always the rule before there was ever, you know what I'm saying, on this planet. You know what I mean? And why should we be divided? Like, we don't have to agree with each other, just like the Italians and the Irish didn't get along. But they agreed upon one thing when there was a Negro standing there.
Why do you think that they killed trillions of themselves for thousands of years.
Oh man, they were savage. Yo, the whole dark age.
Wait, hold on, listen to this. They're doing it today, right? Because I go on a lot of panels that say that the white man is doing this to black people and this and this and that. But every single program that they got that people are claiming against
always
us
about
kills more of them.
Yeah.
Their medical program that's out after us, it kills 10 times more than them than it does.
Right.
Everything here designed to go against blacks kills more whites than it does blacks. Crack, heroin, I don't care what it is. Only thing we running is guns. That's it.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's really
well, that's so confusing. If they're out to just rule over the indigenous people, why are they been slaughtering their own?
They do that to they've been doing it to their own. They have their own hierarchy. They got their own 1%, you know what I'm saying? The elite bourgeoisie dudes on top. They always had that in their systems. You had serfs,
and you think they see color.
Always had it. You know, they always had what they considered, you know, white trash, you know what I'm saying, what have you. I don't know if I can say that, that's PC. But they've always had that, and they turned even the lowest of them, who they sugar honey iced tea on, against us, so that they have a feeling of some form of superiority towards someone else, even though they're at the bottom of the totem pole. They're in the trailer parks. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have clarity yet. I don't understand how it's an attack on indigenous people when they've killed more of their own than everyone else combined. Historically, everybody reads books and claims to have sources for this and that.
We ain't worried about what they do to themselves. We worry about what they doing to us.
I get that, and that's what I'm worried about.
You can go home and take that with it.
I get that, and that's what I'm worried about too.
You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Here we go. How you everybody?
That boy Unc still around? I ain't seen him in a minute.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm gonna put that up there.
They're gonna get it on.
I don't get the monkey or man. I get it. Did all humans come from Africa? Monkey or man?
Oh, this is crazy. Come on.
Going down.
What is Sanchez saying?
All it is book against book. What difference do it make?
Let's see. Okay, I'll read it. Monkey, did all humans come from Africa, monkey or man? We got Anqua pseudo killers, the leader of pseudo killers.
Incredible.
Against Brother Sanchez, that's coming up on the 28th of February. So yes, get your tickets. Well, we're gonna get the link soon. And then of course we have Naphtali versus Nupashada, yours truly. Are human animals and primates?
About the
this is all I could find a debater. Shout out to my sister Naphtali. Actually, that's not true. We're working on an in-person debate. I know you said you didn't like this flyer, Naphtali, but I don't have the other flyer that you did. It didn't look like me. So in the meantime, we gotta figure something out. She didn't like this flyer. I like this flyer though.
Yeah, she looking decent.
I guess she feels small, like you sunning her because she coming from the cosmos and she coming from the earthly plane.
What?
Oh no!
You too deep for me.
The layers, you go to the layers now.
And by the way, that debate is going to be on the 14th of March. But we'll be getting the links. I got to get a new flyer going. There was one flyer she did. I got to find it. Sonetter, why did you take it down? Can you upload it? Sonetter's backstage, y'all.
Okay.
He likes it over here.
What's up, Saab? I know Saab pop up in here. There you go, right there.
Nepal, you said you didn't like the flyer. That's why I took it down.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it just didn't look like me. It's not that I didn't like it. Put the flyer up and I'm gonna let the people see it.
I don't think I got it. Wait.
We need can you upload it? So peace on Netter. How you doing? Did you see the presentation Xion did?
No.
Fire.
Oh my goodness. It was fire bun.
Nobody, no smoke, sir.
Nobody came up for no smoke at all.
He coming to get the old
I
wasp.
know it was all love. People came up here for with friendly.
We don't want any
people who came to congratulate him.
Told you I'm seasoned now.
You see, I didn't do a lot of my things today, and today is when I should have been doing them.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get! Yes! What's next? What's next? I gotta get.
You know that's an old video. That nigga had a fax machine.
Notice he made sure that phone was hung up after he said it. He was like, "Oh, let me make
I
sure
know, right?" Yeah, after he's begging for his MTV spot. I love that clip though. I love it. That's how Xion was so up in here, just savagely smushing. The smushing. Talk to us about the smushing. Where'd you get that from?
You know, everybody was coming up with these slogans, right? So one day I'm listening to Curtis Mayfield. He's like, "I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that in the alley, right? I'm your pusher man. Yeah. I'm your pusher man." And I was like, you know, I used to use this image after I debated somebody, like at the end of my debate, of a Cabbage Patch doll, black Cabbage Patch doll with his head dented in. Right, so like I showing that I just smushed their head in, right? So I was like, "Yo, smusher man," and that was that.
Like
and that's the history.
Yeah, and that's funny. Remember that one show? If you're older, you know what I'm talking about. It was called It was a Canadian show, and they would smush. They would be far away from somebody, but they would smush their heads. You don't remember? Damn, I can't remember.
On the camera?
I think it was called SCTV.
No, I never saw that.
So you know how you're far away from somebody, so you can like it looks like you're smushing them.
Oh, you're doing like this with the fingers.
Yeah, and they would smush their heads. They're like, "I'm smushing your head." Anyways, corny show.
But
hilarious. Anyway, this is a real good. This was a good smoke session. It's too bad. Damn.
And I'm the cult killer too, so I'm coming after the cults. That's why, you know what I'm saying, after this Owaspy thing. But the freaking daggone Christ Michael has been running for me from years. Yaju Judah running from me. I used to beat up on a dude in England. What was that dude's name? I forget his name. Jehovah Holy Ghost don't want no smoke.
Oh, don't do that.
I am the
Holy Ghost is always wants some smoke.
Cult killer.
Jehovah Holy Ghost wants all the smoke.
See that? That's a good one right there.
That's one I would like to do.
That's why and I respect. I have mad respect for ISUBK, my brothers over there. I don't agree with the doctrine. You know what I'm saying? But I went up to I went into the ISUBK camp. You know what I'm saying? Debated, read face to face. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people can say that they, you know what I'm saying, went on rival ground and surrounded by a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying, big brothers with the daggone dog collars on their head, like clapping and barking.
They have like spikes on their cuffs.
Yeah, but yeah, I went in there with two of my peoples in a pair of nunchucks. You got asked Tazaria. When I got to the door and they went to pat me down, they opened my bag and my nunchucks fell out.
This nigga trying to come in here and Bruce Lee.
There's too many of them big brothers, man. Them some big dudes. Just in case.
Like, yo,
I had to get somebody off me. You know what I'm saying?
Video, man.
You ain't gonna get. You will not get a chance to swing those.
I know. I probably boot like 2 or 3 people. I'm getting stomped out after that.
There's some big guys up in there. Damn, I don't know what they're feeding them, but those dudes are giants.
Oh yeah, brothers is getting. You know,
we felt like brothers, remember Xion. We were as if we were grasshoppers to them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when
I had one big dude at the door? I mean, he looked like he was taller than the door.
Yeah, they're big guys.
I was like, why he got to be by the door though?
And they're broad. It's not just
not
tall.
tall,
You can't even run out there. You got a linebacker at the door, bro.
And listen, those people are not tall. You're just small. That's all.
You talking about giants in the Bible? Yo, that dude was a giant, yo.
You're not giants, man. You're just small.
No, I'm 6'1", B.
6'8",
I'm 6'1".
6'7". They all look like they should have played basketball or football at some point in time.
Yeah, walking around 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
always did.
I got long reach, man. I got them Bruce Lee arms. I'm thin. I'm smooth. I'm fast. But
what were you doing up there, though? You went up there for the smoke.
It wasn't
you went
happening,
up there to
bro.
start some. You went up there to start something, huh?
No, I was just trying to make
there
sure.
It is.
Everybody was talking. Yeah. Everybody was talking about you went up to the ISUB. They were trying to scare nigga like,
baby.
That's gonna be a good one.
Because a lot of those cats would never. When everybody found out I was going to ISUBK, they was like, "Oh man, you gonna get your ass."
Yo, y'all still beating up Christians over here, yo? That graveyard is like 2 square miles now.
The Nuwapians are gone, B. I ain't seen the Nuwapians.
Yo, what the Hold up.
Yeah, I just drove through America. I seen so many Jesus.
I ain't seen a Nuwapian in a day.
You seen so much what, Asar?
I drove from Chicago to Portland to Arizona, back to Washington, back to Arizona, Denver. Then I just took a trip from Chicago to Miami and back. It was so many Jesus saves signs up. I'm like,
yeah, that's what's up. Let me give a bomb for Jesus saves. Here we go. Hey,
I think what
if you came to Arizona, you should have got some chicken from Orlando Bloom. He has a chicken shack out here now.
I heard Jesus look just like me, yo. That might be my kin.
Oh, Jesus?
Who, Jesus?
I heard he looked just like me, like height, weight, skin, everything, hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Billions of times I've heard it.
Paul, you could possibly get cast for Jesus.
I noticed something else weird too. Like I was looking at some hieroglyphics, and I noticed something funny. All them kings and pharaohs look just like me.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cheekbones, nose. And I'm left-handed and got O positive blood.
Oh, you might be.
You might want to go check that like out. Me or something, yo? Well, I'm O negative, but you right around the same area. I'm right-handed, but I'm left-handed. I got negative O.
So tell me, Reese,
right
what
around
do you know about left-handed pharaohs? Where'd you hear that at? I never studied. I want to look it up.
I can't remember. I probably one of these guys up here probably said it.
Oh, okay.
I heard that in the images on
somebody on this channel said it.
On the images and a lot of people, from what I know, that their hands on all of the images are all left-handed. From what I've heard about the left hand thing.
Well, you stand with your left hand forward and your right hand backwards, as in a 1-2 stance, because
crushing down evil.
No, Nebet had somewhat. Let me not say no immediately, because it's Nebet. I want to say she commands you to step forward with your left foot in Ma'at and do just that. So you're right, Rakufu, to stomp on the evil Isfat and to fight for what's right in righteousness. I can't remember the text exactly, but that would be the case.
Yeah, I got people like gifted from Ashwa Kwesi. Well, go ahead, y'all.
I love Ashford. That's my homie right there. Yeah, I used to go and get Ashford from Sarnetta. That was the first thing. You got some crazy, man.
Stepping down evil.
That's where I got that when I say manufactured Negroes. That came from Crazy, yo.
That boy got to be 100 years old, man. He was old when I was
I be running that manufactured Negro, yeah.
I tell you, it's a Nasu Biddy that looked like KRS-One. Okay. It's a Nasu Biddy that looked like Mike Tyson.
It looked like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. There's a statue of Amenhotep III that looked just like King Von.
It's hilarious.
To the lips and all. And I'm like, yeah.
There's an Olmec head that looked just like what's that comedian name?
God, Bernie Mac?
No.
Robin
Ari Spears. It's one of them
Ari
old mix
Spears,
heads,
yeah,
just
Spears.
like Ari Spears,
Yeah.
just like it.
Yeah,
I seen
I can
it.
see that.
But there's 100 niggas with that look, like Shaq and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Malik Yoba, Tommy from Martin.
Yeah. It's one that looked like Luther Vandross.
It's one on your block.
To reach for love.
Those niggas are everywhere, dog. There's one on your block.
But I want to
Got an uncle
be
look like them.
I was thinking,
still in love with you.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I know so far away.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, maybe we should talk about how they
Get a little punch in there.
hey, how they did our musicians as opposed to theirs. Nope. Do they still celebrate Elvis but reject R. Kelly? What's going on?
Yeah. That's
Elvis Presley.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
R. Kelly is a shame to the race.
Yeah. I mean, we can say that about R. Kelly. I'm just saying. But here's a dude that married his cousin Elvis. Here's a Jerry. What is it? Jerry.
A lot of those
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Young girls, yo. Yup. They were snatching up the young girls.
All them niggas was doing it, yo. Everybody.
I remember when I was
Richard Pryor
14
doing
years old. Listen, I was 14 years old at a Public Enemy. It was Public Enemy, Houdini, and JJ Fad. And I forgot the one.
JJ Fad?
Yes, and the one with the brim on Houdini, the one who passed away recently.
They are the godmothers of one-hit wonders.
What's his name with the bolo? He used to wear the like Zorro hat. What's his name?
Houdini?
He tried to. I look back. I was 14. This man kept telling me, "Come on, you're gonna come after the show." Because after when JJ Fad was on the stage, after they did their set, Houdini, it was different back then. You know how it is. They came down into like the front row, the crowd, and the people they saw there, they came up, and he knew I was 14. I didn't go because I was like, what the hell is this old man trying to take me back wherever? And back then, as a 14-year-old girl, I didn't think that he knew I was 14. So I told him, I was like, I'm 14. It's like he didn't even say, oh, he just looked at me like, and like he didn't say anything.
That's
just
okay.
Like,
the coke is kicking
like,
in. Go ahead.
Culture.
Wow.
So
I just think about that.
That's a show you could do. Nepal, you could do a show where we deal with American child marriages and how last year over 100 and something. We can Google that right now. 100 and something thousand child marriages in America alone in 2025. That's disgusting because they can do a certain ritual, throw their hand a certain way in the father, the son, and now you got a little girl, but now here's a dude over here that didn't do the marriage. All the symbols, there's still an age problem, and there's a disrespect to nature right there.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we will do a couple shows on that. We have to. We're getting. I think that's a good idea because we come on. It's like that's a dark tunnel to walk down.
Right.
Dark alley. Because we still have our own president tied to Epstein. I mean, come on.
And everywhere he hugging on everywhere on them pictures.
Right.
See him hugging little girls. Donald Trump.
Oh God! Don't forget Joe Biden when he was creeping out little kids right on camera. Remember, he was touching on those little girls and making them all uncomfortable. Have you seen that?
On the neck, man. Dude, crazy.
Hey, Nepal, you grew up in the hood. You know how I noticed out here in LA. I used to now I think about that's what they used to see the OG gangbangers, whatever, up in their Cadillacs at the high schools picking up young girls.
Oh wow, I have a friend. My friend, shout out to my friend Nisi. She used to be like, you should come with me after school to Walt. This was an old dude. Like we were like 16. He was like 48. It's like, what do you mean?
Of course he was if his name was Walt.
Yeah, I think it's stuff. Shout out to Nisi if you heard that. Anyway, but It's crazy. You gotta have your dad or a male figure that stands there and scares them away. That's what you need.
But it goes further. It goes into religion. Look at the 9-year-old Aisha in Islam, the 14 to 16 or 12 to 14 Mary when Jesus was from Mary. They say Hebrew girls basically got married at what, 12 and 14?
Rakufo's getting ready to have some smoke with brother-in-law or some Muslims.
Oh, I mean, it's just going too far, man. I would like to I'm gonna dig up ancient African tribe and everything, because I think the science, me and I talked about this. As we get into the science of things and we learn things, the people don't catch up to the science until years later.
Well, some of that too, though, like the life expectancy was a lot shorter. So you're not living as long as we live now, in most cases. You still had some people, like you have a Ramses who made it a long way. You have a Ptahhotep and others who make it so many years. But a lot of the people, due to ailments, like when you look at the dental records, they're like, man, a lot of these people probably had real bad mouth problems early in life, even with dentists in there. It's just you don't have the modern medicine. Go ahead, brother. I see you with your hand up.
Yo, I think the civilization that was here before us had different mindsets. I don't think there was any such thing as people fondling children or doing toys or none of that crazy shit. Because in the artwork,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
in the artwork, you see naked people all over each other, and they're not fondling each other. Ain't nothing freaky going on. Everybody looks happy. Everybody's smiling. I don't think
I have two words for you, Reese. I have 2 words for you, Reese.
Yeah.
Kama Sutra.
Right.
I disagree.
Yeah. So
Kama Sutra is an art form, right?
It's a sexual art form.
It has nothing to do with kids or deviants. It's just positions. That's all it is. Those people, I don't think the people before us were doing what we do today.
How far back before us, though?
I don't know, because I'm unsure about all the history.
Because I know them Romans was even into pedophilia.
History is a lie to me, man. I don't believe in any books. There ain't even a tree on this earth over 300 years.
Yeah, it was called pederasty in Rome and in Greece, especially. It was like a status thing to have a boy that you just had at your, for political reasons and for you to get your disposal. But it's not for belief. It's a fact that they had boys. It was like it was like having a nice car to have a boy.
It's impossible to know that.
Well, you mentioned toys, right?
Really.
And when I was there in Egypt, you have the toys right there. So you had a black doll with locks, and it was like a popsicle stick that it was on, and it was missing an eye. Then there's another few dolls that they have as well that is similar. So they had the Barbies and all that type of stuff in their own fashion. The 3 I seen were black, so it was no question what they were doing. They had games, so you see several Senate boards, and then you get text about the games and how the game applied to life. But they also discuss when a female is young and a daughter of so and so, and you can go to I'll give you a spot. You can go to the Amarna letters, right? You have kings from other countries, because Egypt, especially with Amenhotep III, would not send a female over there, but would receive so many females from different countries. It was ridiculous. They would beg. They would say, just send me a prostitute. Even send me an underage girl so that I can say that I am truly your brother. I've sent you my sister. We even sent our mother to your father. Blah, blah, blah. Right? So, you got
to believe one word of it. I don't believe one word of it.
Damn. So all you got to do is go look at the letters. Go read them.
No, I'm not.
They're still there.
Don't do that.
Ain't nobody arguing with him. That's what Reese don't
Let Reese keep his mind pure.
Let him keep his mind pure. Hey, listen though, I'm gonna say this.
Stay golden. Stay gold, pony boy.
Be a golden
help me out with this one, Nepal. You heard of mentor, right? Like when you mentor a child.
Yes, mentor.
supposedly one of those what you called earlier, and that's what he was supposedly doing to little boys, and that's why that's
who are you talking about?
Mentor. His name was the god men.
Oh, you're talking the Minotaur?
No, the one where we get the word to mentor children from.
Talking about Manchu.
I'm gonna look him up, but I think it's in Greece or it's in Rome. His name was the god, where we say mentor, because I remember somebody said, I won't mentor no children because he was one of them.
Minotaur. The Minotaur.
Could
Who
be.
said that? I'm looking that shit up.
I don't know about that.
Let me Google it. Let me Google it.
I don't know why. I don't believe nothing on Google. What the fuck?
We want to curse.
Okay, but I'll tell you right now, in Afghanistan, they have boys. They call them bachi
boys,
and that literally means a child to play with.
Right.
So, and the men are doing what they did in the Greek. Actually, the Greeks did it. They had boys to play with. It was pederasty.
Yes,
I know why they're doing that.
It was a status thing.
I know why they're doing it today, though.
Tell us why, Reese.
It's in their brains because it's in the books. Human beings do what they read. Period.
Oh, damn.
Well, they're saying that I tried to look it up and find it in the hadiths. I couldn't find nothing on this in the hadiths.
The hadith is crazy.
I know. I know it's crazy. I'm not saying that the hadiths was, they don't got some.
Give me one minute to tell a funny story, right?
I found the Bazabachi thing. In fact, I found a whole lot of language that was totally against it and thought of it as an abomination. So I was mistaken because I had came at one of the Muslim dudes I was going to debate with, and I threw the Bazabachi, and I was like, "Wait, hold on, before I slip up and open my mouth too fast, let me see if I can find some hadiths." Couldn't find nothing on it. So,
brother,
yeah,
I will see your debate and raise you a prison story inside of 90 seconds. Watch this.
All right.
I come to prison, right, from the county jail. So when you get to prison, you got to go through a quarantine thing just in case you got chicken pox or something. They keep you somewhere 7 days away from everybody else, right? So I'm in the gym with all the quarantine guys. I dunk on a couple people. And some dude that's in the jail, he's doing time, but his job is to clean the gym. So he's in there with us. And he comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, who do you play for?" And I'm like, "Man, I just got here 2 days ago. I don't play for anybody." He was like, "What's your name?" Da, 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 da. We started talking a little bit. Went back to my cell. Next thing you know, they're like, "Pack it up, Ward, you're moving." I'm like, "Moving? I got 5 days left." I'm like, "Okay, but I get out of here. I ain't got no complaints." They moved me to a Muslim tier. I get to my tier. It's books on my bed, food, all kinds of stuff. All of a sudden, I play for the Muslim team now. And I live with them, right? So they're giving me books. I'm reading, I'm studying this stuff. Okay, it makes a little bit more sense to me than Christianity does. So let me see what it is. I buy some books, and I get the hadith. And I come to the part that talks about Prophet Muhammad's wife, right?
Oh, boy.
Something's wrong. Because in my book, it says she was 6 years old. So in my brain, this book cost me $65. I'm going down to the imam. What's cracking, man? They gave me a messed up book. Their one was broken or their two or something. And then when that nigga said, he closed the door, let me talk to you, I was like, what? Long story short, that was the end of my Muslim career right there.
I know that's right.
Period. Nope.
Now, I wonder if you went to the imam, I mean, the prison, not the imam, but the prison, what they call chapel, and you would ask him, how old was Mary when she conceived Jesus? How did God put the baby in Mary? And how old was
14.
She? 14 or 12.
I don't think there is
age in the Bible. But that's hold on.
Age in the Bible
that's speculation. That's speculation, and
it's
fine. Hold on, let me get this out. We're telling facts, right? It's all of those ancient writings, like Asar said, are going to have very, very underage women in sexual settings. However, the Hadith clearly and explicitly talks about the age of what was her name, Aisha.
Yeah.
There's nothing explicitly written in a primary source from the Bible that Mary was 12, 13, 14, or 15.
That's a fact.
But that don't make
I'm not saying she wasn't young.
Yeah,
but
we still can't say that she wasn't. We can only say it's nothing written, and that they say this in the same breath. But all common girls was 12 to 14 when they was married. It says that in the same breath.
Okay.
Where does it say that in the Bible?
In Hebrew, no, in Hebrew culture.
Who's where? Where does it say that in the Bible?
What time period? Like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was
Listen,
pretty.
I'm not
pretty
saying
probably.
they didn't have relations, but I thought we were talking about the actual literature.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Here's
Now, where did Hebrews get their dress code from?
Here go a letter right here, right? This is get to this thing real quick. This is the Pharaoh complains to the Babylonian king.
Uncle Ricky, can you read us a bedtime story, please? All right. Come on, gather around.
My brother, thus Nibmure, great king, the king of Egypt, your brother. For me, all goes well. Blah 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 blah. Let's get to the good stuff, right? For my household, for my wives, for my sons, for my where does he say? My horses with numerous troops, all goes well in my countries, all goes very well. Have just heard what you wrote me about, saying, here you ate, asking for my daughter in marriage, but my sister, whom my father gave you, was already there with you, and no one has seen her, so as to know if now she is alive or if she is dead. These are your words that you sent me on your tablet. Did you, however, ever send her a dignitary of yours who knows your sister, who could speak with her and identify her? Suppose he spoke with her. The men whom you sent here are nobodies. One was of such and such of Zakara, the other an ass herder from wherever, because it's broke off. There's been no one among them who knows her who was an intimate of your father and who could identify her. Moreover, the messengers, and then this broke off. And as for you writing me, you address my messenger as your wives were standing gathered in your presence, saying, here is your mistress who stands before you. But my messengers did not know her, whether it was my sister who was at your side, about whom you yourself have now written me. My messengers do not know her, and still you say, who is to identify her? So this king had got this Nesubiti had got this king's daughter and his sister had knew the Nesubiti's father, and she was one of his wives, and he had all his other wives standing there when the king sent people to check on his sister's well-being. And they still didn't know if it was his sister or not. And later, he goes on to discuss when he asked for a wife and they wouldn't send him one. So this is how it would go back in the day. This dude has the girl they sent to his sister, the king's sister, was sent to his father, then sent to the pharaoh. That's how easily she got passed around.
There's nothing that indicates her age.
His daughter got sent over there, passed around with the pharaoh, and they couldn't even identify if it was her when he sent the guys over there. And the Nesubiti was like, yeah, here go my wives right here. They like, I don't know if that's the king's
and
sister.
now, Asar, not to cut you off, but that right there, that's the Amarna letters?
Yeah, this is one of them. Yeah.
Okay, let me say this. That reminds me of what's written in the Bible. Remember when Abraham's like, oh yeah, you could take my wife, when he was handing her over. That reminds me of what I talked. Yeah. So that's interesting. So that is something that you could see in the text, Rakufu, where they were like, oh, they smoothed it out and say, oh, thank goodness I didn't sleep with her. But she literally went to stay with the king and he was attracted to her. So you listen to this right here, which is extra biblical, and you can put the pieces together and be like, they were very commonly offering their wives very commonly. So thank you for reading that.
I don't think it's okay for children to read that.
Right.
I don't either.
And this is a letter.
Why do these books exist, man? This is vicious.
Well, this ain't a book. This is a letter from a king to king. So this.
But where do you find it, right? because you can't.
You find it.
I mean,
in
it's not
films,
appropriate for some
you
children,
find
like
you find it
underage,
in-
but like teenagers could get to know if they're studying. But I agree with you. That's not I mean, you would
No.
have to break that down as an adult somehow. But
So,
why
my
would you say
question-
children though? Why did you bring up children?
Well, hold up. Let me ask the
people
part.
are give the books to their children to study, and it's crazy.
Look at Easy Band. Look at Easy Bands in the chat talking about that's a lie. Easy Bands, you're scary. Stay in the chat. So scary ass. He'll probably gonna make another comment after the show. This is a smoke session, Easy Band. You gotta go to the nail salon, the massage parlor where they take care of you, pamper your little puppy dogs. Don't worry about it, Easy Bands. It's not a lie, it's true. Who knows the Bible?
So hold up, Nepal. Let me say this.
Did he tell them my wife is my sister?
Yeah,
And the king was like, I'm gonna bring her over to my place, and he was all gearing up to be with her, but then he was like, oh shoot, I almost had sex with her, but you told me she's your sister. Why'd you do that? God almost destroyed me. Stop, Easy Bands. You're scared. You don't want the smoke. The song is Who Wants the Smoke, not who's scared of the smoke hiding under the table. I think I see better debaters than me. Oh my gosh. Go ahead. It's all love. I'm just messing with him, but he's in the chat. He's scared.
I got a question, right? And anybody can answer. Anybody can answer if they want. If you come across someone who's a free agent, right? They don't follow nothing and never did. But they want to save their whole soul from hell or damnation or whatever. Where do you what direction do you point them in? What do you tell them?
To heaven or hell?
All this stuff that everybody follows, right? There's an end result when you die that's either good or bad, and all of it. So if someone comes up and doesn't follow anything, none of this, and never did, but they want to save themselves. What do you tell them? What do you tell them?
I tell you, follow Ma'at. Follow the code and ethics and don't disrespect your ancestors. But you have to first engender that in your mind to save yourself. What are you technically saving yourself from? Not all spirituality systems have an automatic hinge on the plummet to death being in a pit of fire.
Right.
I know, right?
I'm a symbolic.
What Father would burn you? What God would burn you eternally for not doing the right thing? Like, for no end. Like, what kind of madness is that?
What is hell then? What are we talking about?
For instance, let me give you this, right? Hellfire, or the name of the particular fire of water, which slips my mind at the moment, that comes from the Amduat in ancient Egypt.
The lake of fire.
So, yeah. So for those who are bad, the water burns. For those who are good, the water is drinkable.
Right.
You can swim in it. You can people are growing their crops and stuff with it.
Hang on,
et cetera.
You're going fast.
Yeah, it's
just
only
water, right?
Yeah, it's just water.
This is where you're going to go when you die.
This is not literal. Again,
No.
This is like what I guess you didn't watch my presentation today, because this is exactly the language that I had talked about. The language, if you're going to read it from the surface level, like it's a comic book, then you're going to have all of these literal things and you're going to have a whole bunch of questions. But when you're looking at it from a metaphysical, metaphorical, allegorical, then you're finding the depth of meaning that it's not a literal thing, but it's talking about, being burned by something that is supposed to purify if your heart is unclean and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes life, the people, or what did they say? What do you believe in, heaven or hell? You don't believe in heaven because you're living in hell. So that's your life. Right? So, and see how we, even with our music and rap music, we use metaphor, allegory all day. We don't sit there and say, well, he's literally talking about, no, we understand the language. And that's how I believe we're supposed to.
If you're dealing with your life and your death, you need.
Oh yeah, I can't. You know what, Rakufa? I can't do it right now. But can you guys see what he's holding up?
That's the picture of Pharaoh when Abraham and Sarah came to him. This is in a Byzantine art picture.
Oh, damn. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get up and get my laptop. I was just chilling and I didn't want to get my laptop, but hold on, I'll get it. Hold it up later when I'm gonna pull it up.
Now wait.
Brother down in the chat, he said, Dre Theo. Yes, so a lot of things were placed in a certain type of language because for people who were young people, in order to teach them certain concepts, they wrote it in a way that was simplified. But then as you get older, you start to understand the depth of meaning behind.
It's impossible.
No, it's not.
If it's not written literally, that means you have
Debate me on it. Debate me on it. That's what we in here for.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get this smoke. Better late than never.
Debate me on it. This is my show.
Come on in,
You've been going on for a while, and then you're going into
this.
Wait, hold on, brother. This is my show, and you've been going for a while. I'm here to call out debaters. So since you're over here making these interjections and kind of taking the show over, but at the same time, totally talking about a subject I clarified, I'm going to point it out, and you could debate me on it, brother. I bet that happens. Because that's what we're here for. That's what the show is about. You know, not to deflect from the topic of the show so that you can go into a diatribe about something I literally clarified.
I'm going to try to ask my question again. If you have to get to a certain age to understand what's written, it won't matter how old you are because it's not written.
Objection, speculation, objection, foundation.
If different people read it, they're going to determine it differently because it's not direct.
Depends on your intellectual capacity, sir.
It also depends on the culture you're surrounded by. So
that means
your Christianity now is totally different from ancient Christianity, right?
Correct.
So
absolutely.
When you talk about perception or how you perceive something,
interpretation, right?
Yeah, you have to understand that most of this is based on a culture. So in ancient Kemet, we can see the places in the Amduat in the sky on the ground because the places on the ground emulate what was in the sky. So the place they say is this here over here has the same place they believe in the Amduat or in a constellation.
They did that in Philly.
So they say as above, so below.
They did that in Philly and Washington and a whole bunch of other places.
Exactly. So you know how it corresponds. Just like
nobody alive knows why.
Oh, we know why.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay, I'm back.
Right. So you got a mystery system that. Well, you have a mystery system. I don't need the book, as I told the brother on Kalam show a long time ago. He said, what if you don't have a book to learn and study from? I said, we would use the nature around us, surrounding us, because it's nature and it's the Netcharu. So we don't need the book. The Netcharu have already told the story for us. So that's the difference between what we do as a Shemsu and what you do as a book holder.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Right? So there's a difference between the two. But when it comes, like I said, even this story, right? I go to another part of the letter. It says, with regard to the girl, my daughter, about whom you wrote to me in view of marriage, she has become a woman. So he was already writing about marrying her before she became a woman. She was just a girl at the time. Just send a delegation to fetch her. Previously, my father would send a message to you, and you would not detain him for long. You see what I'm saying? You quickly sent him off, and you would also send here to my father a beautiful greeting gift. What's a beautiful greeting gift? Yeah, so like I said, you have those underage marriage situations going on, and you also have interpretation issues when it comes to these things. So when we talk about these things, our main concern is the ethics behind them. Are they good?
Correct.
Are they bad? If they're good, it's something we should encompass as a people because it comes from our culture. If it's bad, it's fat, then it's something we should push out the culture. It's not going to do you any good.
Right.
So There's nothing in there that anybody said that gives anybody any clarity that asks.
That's Dunning-Kruger, brother. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said that's Dunning-Kruger effect, man. I'm sorry, having that situation. I understand exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, that wasn't rocket science. It said that
you know what I got?
Asked for a girl.
I got that hellfire does not exist at all. There's just a fancy poem that you got to understand at a certain age to keep yourself from what?
Oh my God, bro!
This ain't even a poem. This is a letter written to somebody.
Allegorical text, symbolic language.
A poem, yeah.
So I'm old enough to understand.
There's poems in there too. Psalms and everything got poems all up in it. Right?
So apparently you old enough and you understand it literally. So what happens to me if I
No,
die?
the literal is symbolic. You keep on switching, mincing words. We're talking. I got through talking about the symbolism and the codification of the language that you're the reading it from the surface. You're only reading. So that's why I have brought out this Peshat when I was chopping it up with Nepal before. Peshat is 4 ways of interpreting ancient text, specifically when we're dealing with the Hebrew text. You know what I'm saying? But you can still apply this model to any ancient text, even with the Kemetic. You can still look at the literal, then you go to the parabolic, then you go down, and then down to the esoteric. So in that culture, so we have to look at how they wrote and how they perceive things according to the culture of the time periods in which it was written to understand their meaning. We're not going to sit over here and read it like we're reading one of our own modern day literal history books, because if you do that, then you're going to have daggone Kimbo Slice Jesus coming down from the sky on the cloud.
So are you saying that nothing in the Bible is miraculous? It's all just literary prose?
I believe in the extra natural, not the supernatural.
So I'm saying, like, you think when they said Jesus Christ came and walked on water, that was just something symbolic?
That was symbolic. I don't believe that he that.
Okay, and you do realize, I like that you have your fervor and you have your information, but you do realize that is your interpretation, because it can be read as literal, because Christ says that it's literal. He raised people from the dead, right? Or is that symbolic as well?
That's parabolic. No? Parabolic.
How do you know that?
And because I have a whole bunch of scholars, and it's not fringe. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of scholars who think the way that it's literal, and there's a whole bunch of people within the right. churches that do believe that it's literal. That's why I wanted to say, I wasn't able to get out there one day, that I agree with you that there are those who think from that literal perspective, but there are many scholars, and it's not fringe. They might not be as much as the consensus who believe in the literal, what that called the dead letter. Reading it from the dead letter. You cannot return the sender, you know what I'm saying, nor send to the recipient. It's surface level. But when you get a little bit deeper, then you get out of the dead letter. Remember what Paul said? The letter kills. So if I'm reading it from the literal perspective, then I'm becoming dead to the actual spiritual meaning that's supposed to give life and give understanding of the life-giving context within the book.
So when Paul saw Christ on the road, he said that was supposed to be symbolic.
A lot of stuff Paul said was parabolic.
I'm saying that specific moment.
I'm going to say this. Paul said, if my lie has given glory unto God, why am I called a sinner? He said things that he admitted that were not true.
Oh, okay. So what about when he got bitten by a snake and they're shipwrecked and he didn't die? Was that symbolic?
Read that and then try to seek and to understand whether the language is being spoken of in a literal context. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at it right now, whether it's spoken in a literal context or if there's further symbolism that lets me know that this specific account is supposed to be parabolic.
So are you saying there's a consensus among rabbis and Jewish scholars that, wait, no, let me get this out. Let me finish. You're trying to say that amongst Jewish rabbis, there's a consensus that there was no angel of death in Exodus, and there was no parting of Red Sea, and there was no, and there was no Tower of fire that led them. All of that is just to them, to the authors. I'm gonna give it to you. You're saying that the consensus of scholars that examine that. So, so are you saying that it is symbolic, all of those instances, or do they believe that those miracles actually happen? Go ahead.
There are the consensus that believe in a very literal way. That is a consensus, like I said. When I said consensus in our private discussion, the consensus was about the Peshat part, not about how other rabbinical scholars interpret it. And there are many that interpret it in this way. Maybe not the majority of, but not fringe either. They themselves look at it from a very symbolic. That's why they sit there and they read the scriptures over and over, and they're trying to find encoded language within the text. So there are a consensus that will say that this is literal, and there is a large number of theological scholars, rabbinical teachers, even my own rabbi, who does not say that all of this stuff is literal. Just like when Jabari said, and I'm not going to be long with Jabari said, you know what I'm saying, there is symbolic language describing something real, but not literal in the tangible sense. Right, when they were talking about Metsu, right?
So, in other words, as Xion, would you say, when you say consensus, what I'm getting from you is, if we're dealing with 100% of something, that over 51 of the consensus or the majority would say yes, it's literal. But you're saying,
I would say like that. That would be the consensus by one.
Let me say this. But when you're saying your side of people, it's not like 5 or 10. It's more like maybe a 23, 25, enough to
like a lot. Yeah, like 30. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were to do it in a percentage, I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm guesstimating. But however, I look to ask those questions. Is a large portion of them do not subscribe to a lot of the language as being literal. And I got a whole bunch of sources and stuff behind that, even on my slides. But I know it would be
interesting if you could bring up the actual percentage. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, come on in, Reese.
If the sides aren't seeing it the same way, then how do we, if someone wants to study it, how do they know what's real?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of things were written in codified language to hide it from folks that they didn't want to understand it. It's just like gang signs.
Wait a minute. You mean
gang language? Hold on, brother. We ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So just like with gang language, you know what I'm saying? We had codified language and codified words that weren't supposed to be understood to anybody else, but those who were, you know what I'm saying? Who in the in crowd. That is not new.
Why would they create something?
Oh man, I can't speculate on that. And objection relevance.
Let him come on in and finish his statement.
You wanted to make it hot. Let's make it hot.
If we're talking about,
he needs to ask, and he wasn't finished. He said, "Why would they create
something about religious doctrine and things that are going to save mankind? Why would they make it so that some of us not understand?
I cannot.
Why won't you let him finish, Xion? Let him get the whole statement out. It's good. You're gonna get in here.
I feel like human life and mankind and God is important. Religion is attached to God. If these systems are to help mankind, why would they make it so that some people would not understand it?
That is a very subjective position on how you view what should and should not have happened. And secondly, I cannot speculate on why people did things. The only thing I can do is find out that they did certain things a certain way. So I can't tell you like if I was to testify, that would be objectionable by hearsay rules. Federal hearsay.
My original question, right, was
that would be a non sequitur question that I couldn't even answer. And really and truly, can I prove that this is how they did it? Not your moral question of why they did it that way, which would be your own, and therefore it would be objectionable and absolutely irrelevant.
So far, the Kemetic system doesn't have an end game where you burn forever. It's just symbolic and.
A lot of it is super symbolic. The Bible says it even with Revelation. They weren't talking about real 7-headed dragons. It literally tells you.
I believe
the thing is, there's allegory. There's allegory in the Bible, but a lot of, I'd say not even a lot. The majority of these instances are not supposed to be seen as symbolic. like the Exodus, like I talk about, like really, really significant writing, significant information that's significant to the belief system of Jews, of Jewish people, of people who consider themselves to be, you know, the actual people of the Bible. I'm not even going to talk about Hebrew Israelites or Bible scholars.
Yeah. Well,
So I don't know what rabbi, I'm not saying your rabbi doesn't teach that. And I totally respect that everybody leaves. It's up for interpretation. However, we can't come in and say, oh, you fools, you thought that was really, really an angel of death? we know better. It's like, no, they believe that an angel of death went through Kemet and took the firstborn. It's not something that they see. They don't think that it's symbolic. But to be real, and I'm going to park, and I want Zion to come in. To be real, it's really something that when I was studying some stuff in Kemet, the god, I think it's Bes, was set to they would actually, and Asar can help me, they would have the god Bes guard their children so the children wouldn't get, you know, unalived or die during the night by bad spirits.
That is crazy.
So I think it's linked to that. So, but and then I'm gonna park and both Zion and you start, because guess why, Zion? They really believed that netter would watch over their children. It wasn't symbolic. So that story, they really believed that an angel of death came through. So that's all I wanted to say. It is a smoke session. I'm not gonna push too hard, but there it is. There.
I still have nothing to take back to this person that's a free agent. I still don't know what to tell them. I can't tell them, go study the walls of Kemet, but those things are symbolic and they'll save you from what now? When you die?
So you kind of
So they weren't symbolic. But they weren't.
Let's get right to it. So what you kind of doing is kind of skipping over what was said. First, you have the codes and the ethics, which come from the Aku, the ancestors. So I want to make sure you grasp that portion first. Those codes and ethics from the ancestors ended up making it into your biblical script. Things like honor thy mother and father, which comes from Ankh Shashank's text. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of things like that, Psalms 104 and the hymn to Aten, things of that nature that line up. But when it comes to the death, and what you're interested in, your interest is there a heaven or is there a hell?
Right.
So the Aru is where you would go, which is called the peaceful place. It's called the field of reeds. It's the peaceful place. And you get there and you are judged by Asar. And Asar is the judge. And he sits on the throne. And it looks just like the scene that you have Jesus sitting on the throne in. It also looks just like the Islamic picture from back in the day where they have someone sitting on their throne with Jesus and Muhammad is over there next on the other throne. But when you get to the field of reeds, that's considered the peaceful place where you can eat the good cakes of Asar, which is similar to cornbread if you've ever read the recipe, and you can live a happy life. If you do incorrect, like I said, that water, that lake of fire that you fear in your Bible, that they didn't give you the verse to get out of, which we have in our book of Coming Forth by Day, the Peret Imheru, that verse is in there, where the water is drinkable to the righteous. You do ma'at, which is righteousness, instead of isfet, which is chaos. So I don't know which part you missed about that the first time we told you, but if you're looking to tell somebody about being a shimsu, not kemetic, because that's not really a word, but being a shimsu, following the ways of a necher, these are what you would take to them.
Okay, you answered my question. Next time,
real quick, real quick. Fun fact. Crossing over in the field of reeds, I also found out that that's also in the Bible when they're going from the Sinai region. They cross over the river Jordan. That's why the ones who were not worthy were bad. They couldn't cross over into the land of milk and honey. So that's also linked to Kemet as well. I found that out. When we hear about them crossing over the water, that is that's interesting because they cross over and some of them couldn't. And guess what? Moses was one of them who couldn't cross over. And that's why in the Bible it says that Michael, the archangel Michael, fought for Moses' soul against Satan. I just wanted to put that fun fact out there, Reese. And then I got to get to Zion. And FS Drake.
Can I read a scripture? Can I read a scripture, my brother?
Yeah, Reese. I'm gonna let Reese go, and then Zion, you can come in, and then I'll get to FS Drake, yo.
Okay, can I?
The next free agent I meet, I should tell them that they die righteous. They are going to go to a field of reeds.
You want to take that? Go ahead, brother.
That's right.
Okay, look. Did you know also that there's no archaeological, textual, or forensic evidence for a mass killing of Egyptian firstborns sons, which the Bible claims literally happened?
Let me show you a story that Paul says in the Bible. He discusses a story in Genesis right here from, I believe it's Galatians 4 and 24, right? But I'm going from 22, right? So, for it is written that Abraham had two sons. The one was a bondmaid, or was one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, right? But he of the free woman was by promise. This is 24. Which things are an allegory? For these are two covenants. One of them from Mount Sinai, which he's talking about a story that is supposed to be about a historical and supposedly real people who I'm sure there are those who believe that they were real. He's saying, but these things are allegory.
Right. So how do you explain the Jews? Because again, people want to argue the Hebrew Israelites. I'll say it, the Hebrew Israelites, the Jewish people. How do you explain that they actually are claiming a bloodline linked to the man who's Isaac?
Right. Well, how do I explain that? Well, there is a culture that does go through there's parabolic ancestors in almost every culture. However, what we can extract from it, like for instance with Abraham, let me see here. With Abraham, we can extract that from the story, regardless of whether, one person says that it's a literal person or not, that there is symbolism that points out an actual real occurrence of transmission, cultural transmission, diffusion, and the transmigrations of a people into certain regions from Ur, Chaldea, Levant area into Canaan, and then Egypt, and then back. You know what I mean? So we know that has historical relevance. Whether somebody can prove that it's actually historical, I believe, is missing the mark. And that's why he says one woman was born of the flesh and the other was not. It was born of the spirit, meaning one was was the literal in the allegory, and the other one who was of the
read the scripture again. Read the scripture again, because Paul actually, because let me tell you why. Because Paul claimed to be of the tribe of Benjamin. So how could he claim to be of the lineage of literal people and then say, they were just symbolic?
His forefathers claim the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm saying, but there's literally say he worked as a person who claimed, and some people say, well, he was an Edomite, but Paul claimed claimed the lineage, he claimed the bloodline of Benjamin, which would be linked back to Isaac, literally linked back to Isaac.
Right. I would say that there is. But at the same time, he's trying to file a habeas corpus for the actual corpus. I can't provide him the corpus. All I can do is provide him. So in the same way. So was there a literal? They believed it, and that you could take that as evidence. But there's no body. There's, like if I argue with Cedric and the pseudo killers or whatever, they're going to.
But you're saying that Paul didn't believe, though.
I'm sure he believed.
You're saying Paul didn't believe that they Zion. Zion. Paul talks about Israel. He goes through. He continues to talk about an actual people who are bloodline related to Isaac, linking from Jacob to Isaac. So you get it, like Jacob,
Right.
Isaac, and Abraham.
Right.
So how can you say that he's saying that they're just allegory? No, he believed that he was of the people, that they really existed.
I'm saying that while he may have believed they existed, he was not going to waste time with trying to prove what he called vain genealogies in 1 Timothy 1:4. Neither give heed to fables or endless or vain genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly. And that's what's happening here. We're looking for vain genealogy, trying to prove, while he's saying, let's focus on the symbolic meaning more. I'm sure he believed that he was a Benjaminite from a person named Benjamin. There's no evidence of that. And he's saying that for us, maybe in that time, there would, I can't call it, but I'm saying that he himself said not even to focus upon these things, but that would be looking at the dead letter, which kills. That would be also looking at the bond woman, you know what I'm saying, which was of the flesh and not of the spirit. And of the spirit of it, he's saying, neither give heed to the fables or endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying. So if I'm going to read this text, I should be looking for the spiritual edification and not the carnal bonds, so-called bondswoman of the flesh, the literal. He's attacking
I'm gonna read this. Okay, this is Galatians chapter 4, verse 21. Tell me, ye that desire to be under the law, do ye not hear the law? For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondwoman and the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh. This is meaning that they didn't have the covenant. They didn't have Torah. But he that was of the free woman was by the promise. This was meaning that they did have the covenant. He's saying these are literal people. And verse 24 says, which things are an allegory. He says, so let me get a little deeper.
Right.
Those are real people. He says, which things are an allegory. What allegory, Paul? The allegory is, for these are the two covenants. He's talking about covenants now. Right. Now, so he didn't say that they weren't literal. He says, these are the two covenants. The one from the Mount Sinai, that's when they were in the desert from Exodus, right? Which gendered to bondage. That was Hagar. What he's saying is, if you want to stay under the law and you want to be of the flesh, like the one who was the bondwoman who didn't have the Torah, then you can choose allegorically to stay in the flesh in the desert, like Hagar. But if you want to be of the promise, like Sarah, who was of the covenant, because Isaac was given the covenant in the Bible. He's never saying that they aren't real. And he goes on to say, for this Hagar is, this is proof. He's saying this Hagar is like Mount Sinai in Arabia. He's saying, see, I'm talking to you in allegory right now. He's not saying she didn't exist. He's relating it to, the allegory is she's like you're not in the covenant, and the other one is like you are in the covenant. He never says they aren't literal people in this scripture. I just read it. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and the answereth to Jerusalem, which now is. So then he goes further and say, and that Hagar that's in that I'm talking about, she answers to Jerusalem, which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So he goes on and on to say, so basically, I just cleared that up. That doesn't ever say that those people don't exist. He's talking about being of the flesh and being of the promise, basically being of this flesh and being of the spirit. So you can respond to that, and then I'm going to get to FS Drathio. I think that's who that is.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, again, I see where you're going. And in that, he's still saying not to focus on the vain genealogies. And his, one, Raymond E. Brown, an introduction to the New Testament, Yale University Press. Brown explains that the vain genealogies in Paul's writings refers to speculative mythic lineages which are used by early sects to claim spiritual superiority. Luke Timothy Johnson, the first and second letters to Timothy, Yale University Press. Johnson argues that endless genealogies refers to mythic or symbolic genealogies found in Jewish apocalyptic and proto-Gnostic circles. And I'll give one more, Philip Towner. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess, you could choose which school of thought to come from, but Towner says that in the letters to Timothy and Titus, Towner connects the phrase to speculative Jewish genealogical expansions and myth-making traditions circulating in the first century. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just showing the school of thought.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
That it's symbolic, and that Paul is saying that he's not necessarily saying that they're not real, but he's saying not to focus on it.
Okay, thank you, Xion. This is good. This is good. Okay, FS Drathio wants to come in and address you or address the panel.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God!
He said his connection's bad. Damn.
This is one of those dudes with Taz in them.
Okay, y'all, listen, Xion. I get Xion. So you have a rabbi?
Yeah, Rabbi Rasai Adonis of the LOJS Line of Judah Society. Also the president of the EWF Harlem branch, which was started by Malachi Beyin in 1936. He is my rabbi. I did my son's he did my son's bar mitzvah recently. I recorded and I put it on Facebook.
Oh, that's good. Your son had a bar mitzvah.
Mm-hmm. He just got his bar mitzvah.
My daughter had a quinceañera.
Beautiful.
My son, we didn't really have a bar mitzvah for my son or anything like that because I was full on radical Hebrew.
Okay.
Israelite.
Yes,
they said we got to stay away. Don't be like, they were in that. But I moved forward on some stuff. But yeah, this is interesting. I get it. Some people see it as fully as allegory. Like I think Yara's like on that stage now.
Right. Well, a lot of things he might think as also literal as well. You know what I'm saying? But he knows, like I've heard him say something, point out certain things were not literal as well. Which, you know what I'm saying? I think it was always the kind of the school that I leaned towards. I'm not the only one. You're not the only one.
Anybody? Okay, let's go around and close out. I think I'm sorry, FS Drathio. Try to come back in, my friend. But we'll see if you can get in before we close out.
It's okay. My bad. I got the wrong.
No, who?
Psychopatheist dudes and whatever.
Hitting the panel?
That's what I thought you said.
Oh no, I don't think so. He wouldn't have come in. I think Sonetter had a issue with that brother. Yeah. I don't have an issue with him. I don't know him, but I'm saying I don't know if he would hit like.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
We hang out with them boys that we don't like. I'm not going to bring up no names, but you know what I'm talking about. File.
Oh yeah. We don't travel down them roads on YouTube. We don't go down those YouTube screens. All right, Xion, you brought the smoke. You stood your ground. People came for you, and most of the people came up here to give you a high five. But I do want you to see if maybe if your rabbi would like to come in and do
an interview. I want to set him up. He does some. I don't know if you see. I post his stuff every night, Monday. Oh well, actually, Monday through Saturday, going into Sunday morning. Every night he does the Torah readings and the Torah readings and feedings and
damn, we lost Reese. Reese left.
And Midrash.
I'm sorry. See if he can get in here. That would be great. Just not for a smoke session, but like Sonetter interview him. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go to our brother Asar before he falls asleep, so he could say, "Oh, Reese is back. Good, Reese. I'm glad you came back, so you can do a proper." Oh, Black Mill is back here. Wow, I didn't see you. Let's do Reese. Get Reese up here. He could do a proper closeout. But I'm going to start with Asar, where he falls asleep. Sorry, Black Mill, I didn't see you.
I wanted Easy Bands to pop up too, man. Where Easy Bands at?
Easy Bands. Yeah, I told you Easy Bands is safely.
That's my homie, yo. I love Easy Bands. He's all right.
Easy Bands is hiding behind the He's in the bunker.
I want to see him debate, though. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him put something together.
You know that song that Whitney Houston sings with Brandy? Impossible. Impossible. Anyway. Asar, are you asleep? See, our brother done gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Asar, are you there? Going once, going twice. We hear you now, yes.
Yeah, I've been trying to talk. I think
final words, my friend.
I'm trying to get him in. Hold on, let me. So yeah.
Okay, no, we'll go around. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to.
I'm trying to get it out. Hold on, let me get it out.
Oh, go ahead, please. I can't hear you.
I know. I think I put my headset in, and I think it was killing my sound. Yeah. So literal is an aspect in ancient Kemet that actually exists. There are bodies, there are locations and localities that actually have burial locations where we say they are in the sky, right? So that's kind of like a factual thing with a lot of Africa. Not all the myths are true, right? But they do harp of wars that happen between particular peoples. They do harp of things that happen in nature. And so that's where people kind of mess it up with ancient Kemet. They're like, oh, what's literal? What's fact? This is literal. This took place. And this is why this myth exists, because of this literal happening. And that's the part where they tend to mess things up, where other cultures who come later, they base their myth off of the myths that took place in Kemet. Some of them base their myths off of their interactions with ancient Kemet or Semitawi. So that's the difference. It's very different. Like, you may not have a body for your prophet, but the early prophets they speak of in your books are referring to the Nasubites, who they called sons of Ra on earth, and who they call Pharaoh. That's why when I pulled up those verses about God saying Pharaoh spread my name early on in the beginning and all that stuff, this is what people don't know, because they don't really know where their books come from. They don't know the papyrus forms of their books, and I'm about to land the plane. All they know is that canonized thing. Oh, that King James version is not your original Bible. So if you people start to sound foolish when I start to bring up your 70 sons of God and its original format, and you say, oh no, those are the 70 cities in Israel, is, you know what I'm saying? And you know that, Nepal, because you do study. But the cats who don't really study but act like they do, they kind of they're the laymen. That's why we up here to teach.
Right. Those numbers too.
Yep.
Did I?
No.
I hit it. Damn, what's going on? Sonetter must have put it on slow-mo or something, like to child lock. He put it on child lock on me, y'all. So yeah, I had to drop that bomb. Always a pleasure. Yes, Asar, thank you so much for that. Let's get to the brother. I can't see your name. The one who just got blackmail. I'm gonna let him go, and then oh shoot, who fell off? Oh, that was Asar. Yeah. Blackmail, come on in, and then I'm gonna move on to Reese.
Yeah, I just want to say respect to the panels, Aned and Napa, Xion. Yeah, I just wanted to say, even even the great rabbi is Rasa Don. I've been listening to him for a while too. From the Caribbean. I would say more. Like what Priest Isaac would say, it would be easier for me to even refer to that. Like, if you know your Bible, the Kemetic culture and all these things, and you don't know your astronomy, you don't understand the geography, you don't understand most of even just the sciences we are talking about, and we most times been on the panel debating, and you go to these cultures or the allegories or the stories, you wouldn't understand them properly. So like they would say, even just the numbers we just mentioned, the first Bible, like, you know, like you would say, the Greek version of it, it would be like a Septuagint, which is the same 70 that Asa just mentioned. And then even the number 72, like I was typing up there, it has to do with the cycle of the sun. The sun moves 1 degree every 72 years. The Christ going down for the 3 days is 72 hours. Your heart beats, which is science, your heart beats at a good rate, 72 times per minute. That's a good, you know. So most of what the book is saying, like I would say, I would take it more on a scientific level, because we've been through the whole religious aspect of these mythologies. And the Bible is more of it was more of a pictorial book before it became, you know, like just literal words, and we have no pictures and these things. That's why the Ethiopian Bible, the older version, has more pictures than writings. Yeah.
Yes, I.
Thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate that very much. And don't be a stranger. Come back on the next build if you can. All right, Reese, please. I see you, Rakufu. Reese, thanks for coming up again. Reese, you need to get these debates or come to a smoke session. All right, it's time. But do your closeout, please, my friend.
Oh boy. I feel bad for mankind that in 2025, the adult population can't get past all the isms and ologies and all these things that create division. And it pains me to think that most of the people alive believe in a divine entity that set messages and rules through men that made their ways to books. And billions of people had to die behind this and argue for thousands of years. And there's nothing. No one's ever been unified by it, and there will never be a unified family in this world as long as these things exist. So they have to go away, period. And it's just sad that adults can't figure that out. I bet you a 5-year-old could.
You said adults can't figure it out?
Nah. Sad.
Don't be sad, brother. Just help us make a change and get in here and teach.
Yo, that is my homeboy Rocky Lockridge. Why y'all been ripping him over the internet for years?
Hey, let me tell you something, Reese. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna get to Rocky. No, listen. That's funny you said that. I don't want to use the part where he's going, what? Because I felt like when I watched the whole thing and I felt like, dang, I don't want to make fun of that part. But come on, him hugging his brother, there's nothing wrong with that. They
you know that guy used to be he was the lightweight he was the lightweight champion of the world.
Yeah, he was. Shout out to him. Shout out to that brother. All right, peace, Reese. We'll see you again soon. Rakufu, come on in, brother, and do your final words on this outstanding phenomenon of a head smushing. This was a phenomenal phenomenon. Get it? So let's see. What do you have to say about this whole smoke session today, Rakufu?
Great smoke session. More enlightening teachings was brought as we just stay humble and patient with humility. Hopefully we can hear him. When I think of the creator, outside of books, like the brother was saying, Brother Mills before he left, the mysteries and the stuff behind it, it goes back to nature, like natural understanding of the creator being neither male nor female. And I think the men and the female themselves, they get too arrogant in thinking that they're God. When we're not down here on earth, we're out here in the cosmic. And this whole cosmic omniconscious presence, which makes natural selection select what's good over other, is learning and experiencing itself. You're a part of it, but it's like a light. Some lights are 5 volts, some maybe 20. The creator's light, if you put it in you, you'll explode. So to stop trying to control the creator and just release and be at peace. Go ahead.
That was dope. I like that, Rakufu. All right. let's get to the guest of honor, the number one smoke. I think this was the best smoke. Let me think. What yours and Jehovah Holy Ghost had the did a good one, but I think yours was pretty good. Go ahead, and I had to give you a little tiny bit of a
no. I appreciate you not going upside my head too hard today.
Oh, come on, brother. You know I promised you I was going to chill out, but I had to be.
I was saying, beat me up now.
Everybody else was scared except for the brothers with the panel. Anyway, go ahead. What's up? Close out. Thank you for being here. What do you want to say at the end of this?
I think that, like I said, we don't trade Ming Dynasty, Ming vases for styrofoam, cups. We keep those texts, we study them, we take the meat and we leave the bones, as the Bible and even many texts of our ancient ancestors told us that we should do. We should never compromise our wisdom. Also, the Bible says that, we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when that which is fulfilled has come, we put those things in that which is in side. So it's a learning process, and we're supposed to study these things in depth, understand, extract, the deeper wisdom from the things that are mundane and cause us to argue and find further questions that cannot be answered or speculated upon. But, we can explore those things, and we can, decide to choose what we wish to believe and what we don't, with a grain of mustard seed of faith, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah, holla back.
Oh, you got that. When you say that, that's from that MTV show where they make fun of it. And they used to say that was dumb, but now that's pretty dope, right? I use
it all the time when I start preaching.
Hallelujah, holla back. Thank you, Zion. There you have it, families. That was the smoke session I think that was one of the best smoke sessions so far. Shout out to everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Awaspy, my friends, Creator Gang, do something. Help. Where are you? So I never said he has a new song. I'm listening to it with you guys for the first time. So he said he remixed my song that I have, Who Wants to Smoke. I want to say shout out to the audience before I go. Yes, Asarim Ka said Rocky was the homie and he had them hands. Let it go down. He let it go down. Yes. All right. I see you, Easy Bands. I'm just Easy Bands. It's all love. I hope you're not taking anything super personal. I'm just baiting you. I see that you said you're on daddy duty. Shout out to the men that are doing these kind of things, being present in their children's lives. So I salute you. But Easy Bands, you need to come in here and do a smoke session at least. I promise I will not beat you up. Okay, even though it's super, super, super easy to do. Oh, I love you guys. I love y'all. Okay, come on in here. Let's listen. I'm not come on here in here. Let me get in here and let's listen to Sonetter's remix. Let's listen to DJ's Sonetter's remix. Peace, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody who was showing love and support this late. And here's the remix. Remember, I'm hearing it for the first time, just like you.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
The heat is rising, scholars showing up, audience vibing. We on a mission, competition is the only desire. Whose information will be facing the immersive fire? So it's up, stand up, can walk through hell. So tough, too tough for the weak, soft shell. Set the fire, fan the flame. Smoke is rising in blooms. While we inexperienced, the data starts to choke on the fumes. Bring your science, bring your wisdom, even bring us your religion. If you cannot stand the heat, then please don't come in the bar. It's just kids, I miss a session, learn a lesson, fight and overcome your fear. Cool babe. By the time all the smoke clear, who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Smoke session, smoke, smoke, smoke session, smoke session, smoke. I want the smoke session, smoke session. Who wants the smoke? Who wants the smoke? Who wants the smoke? Yeah. Temperatures going up, the heat is rising, scholars showing up, audience vibing. We on a mission, competition is the only desire. Whose information will be facing the immersive fire? So it's up, stand up, can walk through hell. So tough, too tough for the weak, soft shell. Set the fire, fan the flame. Smoke is rising in blooms, while we inexperienced, the data starts to choke on the fumes. Bring your science, bring the wisdom, even bring us your religion. If you cannot stand the heat, then please don't come in the bar. It's just kids, I miss a session, learn a lesson, fight and overcome your fear. Cool beat, the best of babe. By the time all the smoke clear, who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Smoke session, smoke, smoke, smoke session, smoke session, smoke session, smoke. I want the smoke session, smoke session. Who wants the smoke?